I do?
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You're on the radio.
Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! Holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right, here we
Let's
go.
It's the show with the flow. Covino, now you know. That's my bro, Rich Davis, everybody.
What's up, buddy? Hi, Spot.
Hi.
Hey, world. February 28th.
Last day of February.
Last day, and then tomorrow's March.
You know what tomorrow is?
I don't know, the day you start having to pay bills again, I looked at my account and I'm like, what the hell? Like, now all of a sudden it just bills again?
It is the first of the month.
Hate that shit.
But it's also our 1 year anniversary of this right here, our Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we started. Yeah, we started March 1st, 2021. Here we are, almost a year later.
Oh, you have a State of the Union to give?
Yep. Covino, Rich, Spa, and we be rocking out. Let's go.
Come on.
I'd sing along, but
Oh my god!
just took 3
Oh my god!
heads a pounding. I get scared at any time like I get symptoms. Why does my head hurt?
I imagine your head pounding sounds something like this.
Everyone's here. If you listen real close, it's like. Yeah, it could be just old memories.
Yeah, I think it's creeping through from your
I don't know.
2000s club days.
I don't know if it's old memories or if my head's just.
Oh, wait, that might just be Webster Hall 2007.
Still.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's the Cadillac Bar in Jersey, 04.
I'm watching Genius, the Kanye West documentary, and they show some clips and highlights of when he was at Webster Hall, and I was like, hey, Jordan, that's where we used to party all the time. That's right there in New York City.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see that come up and see some of the places you used to frequent back in the day. Anyway, whatever you watched this weekend, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Headache, but happy to be here.
You were a baby boy. You were going to take 2 Advil. Not that I'm a drug pusher, but I just thought every adult took 3. Like 2 is what a 12-year-old kid takes. You have the same, like...
I'm a very moderate guy in everything that I do, except for snacking. I like to snack a lot.
I wasn't saying take...
I eat Fig Newtons by the sleeve.
I wasn't saying take a whole bottle of painkillers. I handed him 3 Advil, and he's like, no, 2. I'm like,
Still like taking chances. Yeah, I don't take.
What do you mean take
3.
chance of 1?
Well, because I only take 2. I've always taken 2. 2 Advil. I don't take 3.
You're a 200-pound, 47-year-old guy. A 12-year-old would take the same dose as
Like
you?
192 or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Went to Webster Hall back in 03. That's from Mike E. Then I probably saw you there because we partied there, not because we thought the club was great.
Rich partied there more than I did because they did a lot of pop shows there.
They were just so good to radio station people at Webster Hall, which is a big club in New York City. So we would go there. Yeah, maybe not because it was the coolest club. We went there because they'd be like, Rich Davis, Spot, Nico, Covino. Here's bottles of booze for free, and there's your VIP area. So why would you not want to go to a place like that?
Yeah, they were very cool to the local people, and it was a fun place to party, but you see it showcased for a second in the new documentary. So, sports, entertainment, life. Enjoy your morning coffee. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed me on Ozzy's Boneyard. I'm trying to think what else I did this weekend. Really a whole lot of nothing. Fox Sports Radio, Covino and Rich. If you missed last night's show, foxsportsradio.com. Had a good show there. And we welcome Rich's dad to the studio.
Hey, what's up, Dad? Hey, you could say, honestly,
to our
sit on that
studio.
pillow. It's comfortable and just grab those headphones.
Sit on the pillow.
Greg just put the stud in studio.
The headphones are right there.
So Greg is here, and Greg was a part of our weekend, man. There he is.
There he is.
On the guest cam here on Tier 2, Patreon. So anyway, hope you had a great weekend. Let's have a kick-ass week. The first week of March, Covino and Rich, the last day of February. And we begin. We always start where we left off. Before we get into the rando stories and rando news of the day, Friday was kind of interesting for me because a colleague that I had never met in person reached out, and I knew we had a lot in common. I knew he was a cool dude, And again, he's a colleague who it would just be silly to not meet up with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's a guy that could also give me shifts too. So it wasn't, I don't want to make it sound like, well, of course I'm going to go. Here's a guy that can get me more money.
Well, no,
it wasn't really that.
I get what you're saying. It was a combination of good business look plus, hey, I talked to this guy. It would be nice to hang.
Really was.
I felt the
no
same
joke,
way
not
recently.
shitting you. Like, I really like the guy. He's a cool dude. But again, it was in my best interest to go. So dudes in town, actually, dude I knew and a dude Rich knew, both came to town. They're both Detroit radio guys. Both technically our bosses at SiriusXM. Guy hit me up out of left field. He's like, dude, in town, let's hang. I was like, oh, I never met this guy. And that's sort of the world we live in, which is sort of why I bring it up. It's like the past 2 years have gone by. Like, I haven't met this guy. I've never met him ever. We had interns that we never met. Interns we had virtual interns we never met. So he's in town. I'm like, sure, let's do it. And I have to say, we got on my ass about not having enough bro time and male bonding and things like that. I feel plenty of that this week because it was kind of nice to talk to a dude who loves boxing, loves old school hip hop, loves rock. Like, so we had like all that commonality and radio, except he came up Detroit and I came up in New York. So lots of commonality. Someone to like talk fights with without getting shit on by Rich.
Well, let me
know what
ask
I mean?
you. By the way, while you just said that, I almost just died in the last 20 seconds.
I know. I was trying to just keep.
No,
it
but you
going.
did a great job, and I hate to break the illusion.
I'm sorry, I looked
But
down.
just
What
just for the fun of the openness of our show.
Rich was choking.
No, just for the openness
what,
of our
though?
show. and
Greg
how
just
we're-
sat there watching. Oh, what's happening to my son?
Honestly, because we are such an open show, I could ignore the fact that I was choking and just be like, yo, Covino, great cover. But I took a bite of this bagel I'm having. By the way, totally broke the diet when family's in town. So having a little bagel, and I felt it stuck in my throat while you're talking. And I was like, oh no. I started tearing, and I was like, yo, does there come a point where I slap Covino and I'm like, bro, I'm actually choking? Like, I was 5 seconds away from being like, yo, dude.
He was getting his teary on, like the
Oh.
little guy from Game of Thrones.
Blurp.
His teary on. He's all tearing up. I thought you were getting emotional because I found a new friend.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, not to sound corny, but man, it's kind of odd when you really hit it off with like a random dude.
Well,
'Cause I really did.
I know what you're saying because in the world we live in with COVID,
Yeah.
you probably talked to this guy on the phone, emailed him, maybe even Zoom called him because
Yes.
you had to have like a Zoom meeting at work. You've never met him in the flesh,
It's
as
part
corny
of
as
it.
that sounds, and you're like, hey, bro. Weird.
Rich is absolutely right, and thanks for backing me up because this is a total opportunity for you to make fun of me, because we really hit it off. Great conversation. Next thing you know, I'm leaving this place like, man, I hope I didn't talk too much because I was just so excited to be out and having fun and just boozing and schmoozing that I'm like, man, I think I said too much. I've gone too far. Like I chewed this guy's ear off for like 4 hours. It felt like. But
there
again, when you
anything-
find that commonality, someone who has that same commonality, it just rolls. It's easy, and it was a good time, and it's good to
know what's
finally
funny?
meet some of these
Remember
people.
the universal choking symbol?
Is that it for real, Spot?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always,
that
on,
was
the,
the
it's always
universal-
on those infographics.
I thought it was the universal Dracula symbol.
Nah.
No, that's it.
So there is a weird sense of I've never met you before.
Yeah, and I don't make friends, meaning like I think I'm too old for new friends. But I guess I'm not.
I think that's the lie.
I'm joking. It was fine. It was
But
cool.
it is it's definitely that time where people are out and about again.
Yeah. So that's part of it. And I'll wrap it up by saying this. Such a small world. Be careful what you're saying, right? Because I'm talking to this dude, again, so many common things. So radio is a big commonality. When you're talking, I guess any industry that you work in, when you meet someone in your industry, it's always sort of cool to talk about because there's a passion there that you both understand. And we're talking radio, and he's like, dude, how's that Fox Sports thing going, man? That's huge. And, Dan Patrick, he's like, that's great, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Fox Sports. Bartender's like, did you say Fox Sports Radio? And I'm like, oh, does he know me?
Steve Covino.
Here I am. And he's like, no, such a weird random thing. He said, that party over there, I asked them what they were celebrating. She said her brand new job at Fox Sports Radio. So it's like, always be careful what you say and who you're talking shit about too, because you never know
who's there.
So yeah, some random person was also there celebrating their new job at Fox Sports Radio. But again, Conversation was cool. Drinks were flowing. Had a nice Friday night. And another commonality that I had, aside from fights and radio and music, was old school hip hop. And that's what brought this dude into town because he works for LL Cool J. So I'm trying to spit my rhymes.
You're trying to get
I
on
know LL Cool J.
Covino would sound good on
Pink
Rock
cookies
the
in a
Bells.
plastic bag, getting crushed by buildings. I'm like, yo, I'm big LL Cool J.
By the way, fun fact. You talked about you never know who's in the room.
Yeah.
Old school radio story. One of our buddies and one of my mentors, back in the day when like FM radio mattered, he went to a restaurant and saw the competitor, the program director of the competitor, going over all the plans for the radio station, sat in the booth next to him, and like sort of eavesdropped on the whole thing and heard the plan, what they were going to do and everything. And he's like, yo, you could say it's wrong, but yo, they were yapping out loud at a restaurant.
No, seriously.
He's like, wait, I think that's the program director of Kiss FM. Sat in the booth next to him. They're like, all right, we're going to make this our promotion. We're going to do this to the radio station. And yeah, they got the whole game plan.
Yeah, it's
You never
it's a
know who
small
you're
world.
talking in front of. Don't
you never
talk.
know. There's 6 degrees of separation to somebody, I'm sure. You know, and people's ears perk up when they hear some shit like Fox Sports Radio. You know, so got away with that one because I wasn't talking shit, but still, it was a reminder to you. Anyway, I'm talking old school hip hop to this dude, and I'm also saying, hey man, I could do that shit as much as I could do Boneyard. I could do,
Oh, wow.
you know, rock the bells.
So starting tomorrow.
Yeah, no. My radio, believe me, I like it loud. So he goes, yeah, I'm here to do some stuff with LL. And I'm here to do stuff. You know Greg Nice? I'm like, do I know Greg Nice? Nice and smooth as funky. Greg Nice, my life's like a fairy tale.
I don't know who Greg Nice is.
What's a great big whale? You don't know who Greg Nice is?
No, who's Greg
I'm about
Nice?
to show you a spot. I sent you a clip. I don't know if you got it. But Greg Nice was from Nice and Smooth is funky. Also hip hop junkies. All they want to do is in you.
You don't need to impress me. You've already talked to you already met your guy at Sirius XM.
So no, I'm like, dude, do I know Nice and Smooth? I fucking love Nice and Smooth. He's like, yeah, I'll be with them tomorrow. And he sent me this. This is for the old school hip hop heads. I thought this was kind of funny. You got it?
No, you gotta email it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a fucking
Sorry.
buzzkill.
You know what? Hang on. Let me see. I might be able to like isolate it.
What a buzzkill.
I know. It's just it's
not your
videos.
fault.
It's the equivalent of sending videos to an Android.
See, Michael E knows what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice and smooth is funky. Also
let's see.
hip hop junkies. Rich, you know the beginning of the song. Ba 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 ba.
Oh yeah, I think it'll look like shit, but I can do it.
That's all right. It's all about the audio anyway. I don't think anyone cares. But it's
I
just,
care.
It's just kind of funny.
I care.
So I hope you had a great weekend of catching up and meeting people you never met before.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
It's Greg Nice, Greg N-I-C-E. What's up, Covino? You know, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What's up, Covino? Peace.
Greg Nice, bro.
Wow.
From Nice and Smooth?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
What'd you do? Would you buy a Cameo? $12.
Yeah, but I was so inspired.
That was a $12 Cameo. Covino
Yo,
bought.
what's up?
I got one from Dana Dane.
Covino?
What's his name? Covino? All right, yo. Steve
Yo, I
Covino.
really
You
enjoy-
Covino. What? Covino.
I hear you like my music. I really enjoy your Covino, Rich and Covino
Well,
show.
if you had it in decent
On
quality, you would see it wasn't a cameo.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Man, that's really cool.
Nah, man.
I
Yeah.
think
By
it's
the way,
funny when
Covino.
you make jokes about
you guys are
old school
fools.
hip hop.
You guys are fools.
Covino. $15 well spent, bro.
Yes, you guys are fools.
$15
See? All
well
right,
spent.
Everyone else, like, hey, hip hop junkies, they were awesome. John Harris, thank you. Michael E knows what I'm talking about. Andrew Sims, that's pretty sweet. It's kind of funny when
I remember back in the day when you used to get
fools talk.
you used to get all the honeys.
Fools talk. Here's the point.
It's
the point
me.
is
You were nice and smooth.
life is so
Covino.
full circle. You know, Covino and Rich, as we almost celebrate 1 year of this and 17 years of the show.
Yeah.
We've come so full circle meeting so many of our heroes, but when you start meeting all these other people too, it never gets old. Like, man, I used to love that guy. I used to love their songs. And when you see them shouting you out and shit like that, a buddy of ours did that at ESPN. One of our Deportes buddies met El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, El Duque, Yankees pitcher. And he had him say, what's up to me. I think that's awesome. I
El
really
Duque.
do. Yeah, El Duque. El Duque, what's up, Covino? What's going on, man? Anyway, that shit meant a lot to me. I don't expect you to care. I just, was throwing it out there for the old school hip hop.
But I care
fans.
for your sake. Now,
Yeah.
I did the same thing you did Friday night before my dad and his wife Nellie got into town. I had to introduce Avril Lavigne on stage.
How was that?
And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't nervous because, as you and I always say, you never get nervous about things you know you could do or you're good at.
Should have met up with you because here's the small world we live in. The guy I was with on Friday night, having drinks, getting to know.
Yeah.
He's from Detroit. Worked with the guy you were with.
Yeah.
In town for Avril Lavigne. So we probably should have just all got together, but
So it was one of those, like, I had to get out of there as soon as I did the announcement. I knew I had to, like, immediately get to my car, get out of there, because I knew my dad was going to be taking an Uber from the airport, and I sort of wanted to beat him back to my house or get there right around the same time like we discussed last week. But while I'm standing there, there's that feeling of waiting around that I think everyone can relate to. If I told you right now, Covino, hop on that stage and make an announcement, versus, yo, Covino.
did you eat a bagel before you went on stage or no?
No.
I'd like to introduce I heard Machine Gun Kelly gave you ass to mouth resuscitation.
I know the Heimlich if you eat another piece of bagel today.
Oh, thanks, Spot.
Travis Barker gave Rich the Heimlich maneuver on stage.
So
I'm sorry, did you say Heimlich?
Heimlich.
Oh, okay.
So
Big bagel shot across the room.
I think anyone can relate to this.
Hit Avril in the eye.
If you are at a work meeting or anywhere and someone goes, yo, make the announcement right now or do something now, you really don't have time to think about it. But if you get there and they give you a time and keep delaying it, it gives you time to like pace around and think, and then you're like, oh, let me get another cup of water. All right, let me go to the bathroom. When you have too much time to think about something, it really does get in your head. Like they were like, all right, dude, here's a mic. Go on stage, introduce her. I feel like I would have been way more.
Were you given a bunch of instruction now? Like, be sure to thank this sponsor and that.
No.
Really?
It was
Good.
it was
That's
almost
annoying.
too casual. Where I
Make
was
sure
like,
you mention the new album.
Right.
I was
Remember
like,
the
well-
release date.
I was like, well, what do you want me to say? They go, no, just a basic intro, which is almost more annoying than instructions because then I'm like, well, do they want me to talk for 5 seconds or like 20 seconds?
It's called the Small Stage Series. Welcome to the tiny stage.
And
No, small stage.
no, honestly, Spot. And then I thought to myself, then because I had the time to wait,
stage.
because I had the time to wait, I had the time to overthink. Like, man, I haven't made a stage announcement in years. In fact, I haven't grabbed a microphone in a venue in years. Wait a minute, do I still know how to do this? Like, by waiting,
Rich
it,
caught all this crazy feedback when he grabbed the mic.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
So loud.
but yeah, it was easy and basic. But you know, as I'm waiting there, my mouth is starting to get dry. Like,
Really?
Oh,
what's going on? Like, dude,
I'm surprised.
Covino will back me up. In these scenarios, I'm never
It's like me. You're like me on
flustered or-
stage.
I'm never like nervous or anything. But you know, my boss was there who I'd never met. They were like having me wait around, like, all right, 5 more minutes. Are you ready to take the stage? Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Hold 3 more minutes. Then they're like, all right, we're waiting on someone. Wait 3 minutes. So I'm just standing there, like, with a microphone. You know, like a video game character when they're just waiting when people are setting them up and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They bob
You're
back
just
and
waiting
forth.
there the whole time.
I was just waiting like a video game character, bobbing back and
Choose
forth.
your avatar.
And
Nervous
as I'm-
radio host. Boop.
That is nerve-wracking. I got to back Rich up, even though we're all pros at this. Like,
It's the waiting
the
part. It
nerve-wracking
really
experience.
is.
Plus, it was like all Sirius XM executives probably there judging you.
The
At least
first
that's what you
mod
think.
the first mod I'm using is for those shoes.
Boop, boop.
Let's see if Rich could get this crowd hype.
And I just, I'm just waiting there in the wings, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And then Mark Zito hops on stage, and he's like,
He's smooth.
all right, everybody, Mark Zito. You guys ready for Avril Lavigne? Well, here's the deal. When Rich Davis comes out here, we're going to be live across North America, so I need you to make some noise, and that'll happen in about 10 minutes. Thank you, everybody. And I'm like, all right, Zito gave the intro that everyone's got to get pumped when I go on stage.
Did he do his who's here? Who's
No,
seen
he
that?
did not do. He did not do his typical shtick. But as I'm waiting there, the reason I'm telling you why I'm waiting, I'm just getting all nervous energy because I'm just standing there waiting. And who passes me? Because you can imagine, I'm right to the side of the stage, waiting to hop on stage and make the announcement. And who walks right by me that they escort through the little back door side stage area? I'm like, oh shit, look. Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox, Travis Barker, and Kourtney Kardashian are just standing right there next to me. And so now I'm like, oh man, they're going to watch my stage announcement?
I bet you they crop dusted you
I'm like,
to assert dominance.
I was like, I can't nervous fart in front of Megan Fox.
You should have did it for the gram. You should have jumped in and got a picture.
What's up? What's up, Machine Gun Kelly?
You should have. You were the guy introducing Avril that night. You had the clout and props enough
They
to
call me Pew Pew Davis.
yeah, hop in. Pew 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 Davis. What's up, Machine Gun Kelly? I'm Water Pistol Dicky.
Water Pistol
Let me show you this video of me blowing out a gun.
No, seriously though, you could have done that. I think you could have. I think you should have. In fact, it shows what a professional you are or how actually in your head you were. Because that's a great
In a situation,
Travis Barker,
pop radio,
Travis
your pop
Barker,
guy picture moment.
in a situation like that,
I'm in their world.
you're in their world because
Yeah.
you're introducing the event, so you're of the echelon, the elite,
and it only builds your pop 2K hits one
Yeah.
credibility. Like no one at SXM would have got mad at you for that.
No,
So Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox look fantastic. Machine Gun Kelly, they're like rock stars. So they're all there.
Right.
I get on stage. I do my quick little intro.
you need tattoos.
Yeah, I need tattoos. You're right, Spot. I made one joke and it worked. I made like a stage, like little quick joke. And it was Spot. It actually was pretty good. So I felt good about it. The whole cover of Avril Lavigne's album is her sitting with like a huge thing of balloons. Spot, look up the cover of Love Sucks. Avril's album is out now.
she's
Can I
black
guess?
balloons.
Can I guess? Did you make a gender reveal joke?
No, but that would have been a great one too. See, now you're thinking. I wish you were there. Avril Lavigne, who, by the way, a major comeback for her because she's working with Travis Barker. The album's doing well. The singles are being played on the radio everywhere. So I guess you would say a pretty sweet comeback for Avril Lavigne, right?
Comeback. She never went away.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I love LL Cool J, man. I could do this. I promise.
I know. Tell the
I
guy.
could be on
Not-
Rock the
tell
Bells.
the guy, not me.
Rock the Bells, bro.
tell
Let's
him,
go.
not us.
Hey, it's LL Cool J. What's up, Covino?
By the way, I got another cameo spot.
Great $100 well spent.
I
LL
think,
Cool J.
You pick cookies in a plastic bag. Getting.
fine.
I know you love that line.
When Rich is done, I bought another cameo. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
I sent it to you.
Oh shoot. Sorry, I zoomed in for Covino's cameo.
This is Avril's.
I have to shrink it down.
Can you stop hawking up bagels? Kind of grossing me out, to be honest.
Sorry. There's balloons.
So that's Avril Lavigne. Love Sucks is her new album. So there were like, I guess you would say bundles of balloons everywhere. So I went on stage, I go, yeah, what's up, LA? And everyone cheers. And I'm like, yo, first of all, props to whoever blew up all these balloons. And it got a quick little chuckle. I'm like, all right, you guys here to have fun, did the whole thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here, give it up for Avril Lavigne. I walked off the stage. And then when you walk off the stage, your first instinct, I feel like Covino even saying this, your first instinct always is like, oh man, I could have done that better. Every time you do
Now
it.
you're looking around for like someone to be like, great job.
Yeah. Anyone? Come on, guys.
Oh, was that okay?
Man, he really nailed it.
Was that okay? Oh, thanks.
Great job. Good seeing you. No, then you're like,
Yeah,
man,
man,
was it
man.
good? Well, I should have. Maybe I
Yeah,
should
it's
have done
always
that. Maybe,
awkward.
man, I wish I should have done Spot's gender reveal joke instead. But
I liked your joke.
I got out of there. I went to valet, got my car, rushed home, and my dad and Nellie had just beat me to the house. So we were about to start our little family weekend, which was fun. But yeah, that whole night, man, Avril Lavigne, seeing the bosses you see in your boss, just a weird world we live in now. Like to know that you talked to someone for years and finally met them.
Yeah. Rich and I had the same exact experience. His was at a work event. Mine was just over some, chips and salsa and some drinks. But same thing. It's like you feel like you know this dude, but you never met. Been working together for a few years now. And it was a good time. It was a good night. And the highlights from that Avril show looked dope.
It looked great.
It looked really cool. I had even said,
I'm kind of bummed that I
maybe
didn't
we
go.
should have went there. I don't know.
I know. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't go.
One of our bosses made a
I love
comment.
Avril.
I think the comment was sort of sarcastic, but they're like, "Oh, I guess Spot doesn't like Avril Lavigne."
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone said that
because
you weren't there.
I go to every event now.
Oh, how are you? I guess Spot doesn't like Avril Lavigne, huh?
You should have told him I do love Avril Lavigne, but I didn't. That's the reason I didn't go, because I didn't want to be that guy.
Oh, I guess Spot doesn't like Avril Lavigne. How are you?
That's funny. He sees me at everything.
I love that you still go there and you're like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I'm still going.
Taking the perks. I have like 14 years of perks to cash in on.
That's true. Didn't you get a bunch of perks as part of your bonus?
Yeah,
with the gentleman's handshake like 10 years ago.
No, my severance package included perks for.
Your severance package would pay you till the end of the year and 7 concerts of your choosing. You've used 3, I believe.
That last severance check. I'm like, when's the next one coming? Oh.
So we all went out. Actually, this is another commonality. I went out with this dude Jay from Rock the Bells and Boneyard. Rich met up with his buddy
Samson,
Alex, and Samson in the hits world of SXM. And Spotty went out with like his buddy Sam.
I mean, Friday I did nothing. Saturday night I went out.
Seth.
Who's that?
So it's
That's
just a
what
friend.
I said. Yeah, I said, I think I heard you mention him once.
Do you not think that I have friends outside of the two of you? Because I think you don't.
Well, if you don't mention them ever,
will.
then how am I supposed to know that?
I think everyone has gone through this. There's a whole subset, especially at least in the bigger cities. There's a subset of people that you probably haven't interacted with because of COVID and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So there haven't been get-togethers for 2 years.
Yeah, but who's this guy?
He's a friend that I met years ago.
Where? This is so vague.
Do I have to explain?
Okay. Great example.
I feel like it's
Hey
shameful.
guys, my buddy Zach. You know the guy I play softball with? Oh yeah, Rich met a guy playing softball. That's his buddy that shows up at parties here or there. It makes normal sense. Who is this guy?
It's just like a long story that's annoying to tell.
His story's sad to tell.
You want to know? Okay. So years ago, I was vacationing up in Long Lake with my friends, and Kristen was in town, and we were at a bar in town. This guy happened to be there with his then wife, they're now divorced, but his then wife had family who lived in Long Lake, but they were young people in town, which you don't see a lot of. So we like hit it off. And like
so you friended these people.
We
on the
friended
East Coast.
these people like immediately. We're like fast friends. You know how like fast friends right away.
Fast friends on the East Coast, and then
on the East Coast,
and they live in LA also.
Yeah, we like spent the week together, kept in touch, and they live in LA. Like moved out to LA. So
Bob probably loves it because he could talk shit about you and I the whole time.
I don't talk about you at all.
No, you do. Like, yeah, I work with these two jerk offs.
And
Probably does.
Yeah.
I do have a question though, and I'll bring it up. But he lives in Hollywood. Every so often we'll just kind of get together, have an event. It was his birthday this weekend.
Was it Seth Green?
It's not Seth Green.
Bad breath, Seth.
But it's just
Seth MacFarlane?
Someone that I've kept in touch with throughout the years. That just we hit it off, and he's got a place in Idlewild, that place I love to go. So it's
interesting. I can relate though because it's random and
it's random
when you hit it off, and that's sort of how I felt too this weekend. But then again, I've only really been able to talk to you guys. So someone else, I could talk shit about you guys to someone else finally, which was what I did this weekend. So hope you enjoyed your weekend. Hopefully you found some commonality in our stories and our adventures. And before we move on, since I've been ordering cameos, one from Greg Nice, I ordered another one.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see it.
Why not, right? Make my childhood dreams come true. May all your dreams come true.
I don't even know who this is.
Les habla Orlando el Duque Hernández, un saludo para Steve Covino. Óyame, felicitaciones, feliz año nuevo y nada, espero algún día conocerlo personal.
Is that El Duque speaking in Spanish? And I heard in there an El Covino?
I heard an El Covino.
El Duque, El Duque.
I heard an El Covino, and I heard a Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, El Covino.
So, El Duque. I bought that just for $29.99 on Cameo. You like that? So anyway, someone appreciated my Greg Nice story. Someone appreciated my El Duque story.
Speaking of the Cameo stuff, my buddy Chris is actually a guy that uses it quite a bit. And I gotta be honest, I feel like he uses it the right way. And I think, like if his kid broke his arm, so he'll be like, hey, I got my kid a cool cameo from one of his favorite people. Like, hey, get well, Dom. I know you hurt your arm. I'm like, oh, that's like a pretty cool use of Cameo, I guess.
No, it's really cool.
Hey, your kid did well in school. Hey, it's me, such and such celebrity. Congrats on slaying it on your report card. Like, I don't know, maybe it is cool
to mess with a pal too. Like, all right, for example, how cool would it have been, like the way that dude Jay sent that to me because he was with that guy, right?
Yeah.
Like me and Barnando grew up listening to Hip Hop Junkies and Nice and Smooth and shit like that. if I got him a Cameo, I'd just be like, yo, what's up, man? It's Greg Nice.
Yo, Barnando.
My life's like a fairy tale, yo. Yeah, just, saying what's up to my buddy Barry, that shit's kind of funny.
It's very funny.
It to make your kids happy. You could use it to, have some fun with your friends. Whatever it is, I think that's kind of cool. I
think it's funny.
We're not on it, but maybe we will be someday.
I think it's very funny. I think it's funny when people use Cameo for pranks and, for their kids.
On Saturday, Rich came by my place to pick up my car because his dad's in town and I wasn't using my car. But Greg came by, got to see my place. Oh, I like it. And it was nice to see Greg. And then after that, Rich, I cleaned up all freaking day. When I tell you all day.
So it was like a weekend of cleaning for you?
Because I finally was able to, remember that big leak I had in my shed? I had to take everything out of my shed. So it's been sprawled out and spread out throughout my house and my patio. I had to clean all the shit that was left out, put it back in, and just clean up everything. I cleaned up so much on Saturday that my legs and my back were killing me the next day. So you could say, wow, he really cleaned a lot, or wow, this Mo sucker's out of shape, because I'm like, my legs are still sore from all the walking around and lifting and carrying I did on that Saturday. And then on Sunday, I was lamping, had a nice little day, and did some Fox Sports Radio, and here we are. Hope you enjoyed your weekend.
I don't even know where I want to start. Perhaps.
Well, you wanted to go on a rant, so you might as well get that out of the way about a place that you hate. You referenced it.
Oh, yeah.
But you never talked about it.
Yeah, you know what? I could get into that today. There's no waste in doing that today. I am not a fan of a place that everyone seems to love. And that place is Costco. I went to Costco, and I'm convinced that it's a sucker's place. I feel like.
By the way, this would be an unpopular opinion.
I know. I say yeah. It's there's no deal on. I feel like there's no really great deal on a lot of their food.
Zoom in on Rich for this one.
I feel like.
What do you mean there's no deal? That's the whole point.
I feel like the only deal I saw that I was like, now that's a deal, were $5 rotisserie chickens, which I bought one. But then you got to bring it home quick because you go to Costco, you don't think you're going to be bringing like hot food home. But I bought a rotisserie chicken for $5 just to have that night for dinner. But besides that, I'm convinced that Costco is for families of like 5 or more, or people that love to freeze meat, or people that love to just have a freezer stock full of they're like hoarders and preppers and like end of the world people.
You buy in bulk, you're going to get things cheaper. So your theory of you're not getting a deal is already bunk like Archie Bunker. So brakes, no need to hit them. Skins, you got them. I want to get with them. Nice and smooth as funky. Brakes.
John Carpenter
Costco.
goes, I'm with you, Rich.
I want to ask you, is this the first time you ever went to Costco?
No, I've been to Costco.
Okay.
I've been to Costco a handful of times, but it's the first time I went in a while.
Got it.
And I looked around my house before I left, because before I left, I go, what do we need?
Well, that's a great move always, because usually you get to a Costco and you're like, do I need deodorant? Damn, I should have checked before I left.
I looked around, I'm like, what do we need? And you know what? I felt like we needed nothing more than the basic shopping.
Well, then
trip
your
things.
fault for going if you didn't need anything.
Sarah's
that's not
like,
on Costco. That's
Sarah's
on you.
like, let's go there, and you go there. All right, maybe paper towels. Yeah, maybe like those type of things, like toilet paper. You buy the big bundle, but if you have 2 little kids, it's still not for you. I'm telling you, it's still not for you. If you have 4 grown kids and you need to get 20 chicken breasts.
When this place is packed on a random Tuesday afternoon.
I get it, but I really think it's
that?
for freezer people. And I'm not a freezer people. You might be a freezer person.
Yeah, freezer people.
People that have the the people that have the fridge in their, what is it? What does the meme say? How you know you're white when you have a second fridge in your garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a second fridge in my garage.
Well, that's the half Mexican part of you that took over.
Yeah.
Yo, you just feedback coming in.
Yo.
Tell Rich to shut his whore mouth when it comes to Costco.
Yeah.
That place is better than Disneyland.
And by the way, everything is cheaper there. So like Rich's opinion on that
the meats are not cheaper.
coming out of his
I'll tell you why the meats are not cheaper.
Everything is cheaper by ounce at Costco. That's just how it is.
I
So
feel
that's
like the
just- that's just
supermarket. I
fact.
feel like supermarkets on the days when they're trying to get rid of their good steaks, where
Price
it's like
per ounce
50%
is
off.
cheaper on everything than your regular grocery store. So if you didn't like the vibe, you didn't like the hustle and bustle, the gluttony of fat Americans, then fine. But if you're going to say it wasn't a deal, then you're full of doggy dip.
But all right, I just said, are you a freezer person? And apparently,
But they sell more than meats. No, I buy meats there. I buy my bacon there
I don't want
and my meats.
I don't have a second huge freezer to be like, oh yeah, let me buy 25 chicken breasts and 18 pork chops, and let me buy chopped meat. Let me buy ground beef. 16 pounds of it in a big barrel.
I know the feeling you speak of.
I don't need all of it. And
I don't need 3 things of A1 sauce. You just want like one.
Okay, I'll tell
you
you
don't
what
want
I
like
bought.
a pack of 6, but
my Sarah and I
but
use,
you buy what you could use, and I always end up buying at least $300 worth of stuff per visit. So it's not like I need anything, but I end up using it.
Sarah and I, the one thing I bought that I was like, all right, that is, we bought body wash because we use Dove body wash, and I think at the drugstore, I think they're like between like $8, and it was 3 for $15. So I was like, all right, sort of like buy 2 get 1 free. Mm-hmm. I was cool with that. I was cool with a couple things we got, but for the most part,
yeah, but it's
we
not.
got to the register, we swiped all this stuff, and I'm like, we purchased here hundreds of dollars of things that I left the house looking around saying, we truly don't need much. And you sort of go up down the aisles and you're like, oh, look, Nature Valley bars. Well, it is a pack of like 100 of them for $20. And you're like, but do you need that? No.
I mean, you could say that for any.
You could say that about Target, Walmart, everything. But I'm saying Costco is that on steroids. So I think if you're the type of person that has multiple kids that are eating a lot because maybe they're like teenagers, or you got preteen boys that are eating a lot of shit, that's one thing. But I really don't think Costco's for everyone. If you're not,
But it's not a one-stop shop.
I don't freeze meat.
That's the thing. Like Rich likes to go to Ralph's and buy everything just at Ralph's or Vallarta, wherever he goes. He likes to do the
I hit a
one-stop
couple
shop.
different places, but I try to do most
You're
of it in one
buying
spot.
some of your bulk items at Costco, but you still got to go to Ralph's or Trader Joe's or wherever to buy the rest of your items.
Right.
It's not, and Rich isn't like that kind of guy if you've listened closely to the show.
Freezing meat ruins meat. You shouldn't freeze good quality meat. If you're going to buy a nice big ribeye spot, you could at least back me up on this.
Most of it's pre-frozen before it gets to the.
If you go to a butcher shop, like if you
Are you going to a butcher shop? Because I'm not.
No, but I'm saying if you are getting good cuts of meat, or you want to get like a nice ribeye or a steak or something, do you want to freeze it for months and then thaw it out? That's
But there's more than meat. Why are you so fixated on meat?
Yeah.
Like I just bought a toaster there.
Meat's a fourth of their
they
price.
sell vacuums and speed. You should have bought a surround sound system. They sell
was no
all
deal.
kinds of
There was
stuff.
no deal. I looked.
But they sell. You act like they don't sell iPads and iPhones and toaster ovens and vacuum cleaners and surround sounds and couches, and they sell all kinds of shit. So basically, you're saying I don't need anything ever. Because I just bought a Cuisinart. Kelly, what does Kelly know?
She goes, we go to Sam's Club and I occasionally buy all this shit I don't need.
Good.
Bro,
Kelly.
I'm telling you, I bought a the one thing I bought that I did need, but I don't think it was like a wheel of a deal. I got a nice butcher block of knives for
I guarantee you it was
like
a wheel of a deal.
$150.
That's what they do. They give deals. You pay for a membership. It's cheaper. I George Foreman guarantee that whatever grill you got, whatever block of knives you got, I threw the grill in there because I said George Foreman.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no one caught that. But anyway, you got a deal on it. Guaranteed.
I don't like to freeze. I'm not, listen, some people like to
fixated
do
on
certain
meat.
things,
It's
but
more
it's
than meat.
because it's a fourth of the store. The whole back right corner, that like there's a whole like it's rows and rows and rows of frozen meat. So you can't say meat's not a big part of that store.
But I imagine with children, there's a lot of staple items that you go through a lot of. That's what you focus on.
Goldfish.
Baby wipes.
Baby
Yeah,
wipes.
I got it. There's a couple things that were worth it, but I'm saying the fact that people
Rich just didn't like.
I think people like to
feeling
stock
like
up.
he didn't know what was going on.
People like to stock. What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah.
What do you mean? What's going on?
I feel like you know your routine at Ralph's. You know your routine at Vallarta. You buy your meats or whatever you buy there. I feel like at Costco you just didn't have
I buy my meats
clear
at Pavilions.
mission. Because there's nothing really to not like about Costco.
Yeah, I get
There's really nothing not to like about it, except for the fact of There's a lot of people there. Like, honestly,
I'll tell you what I
take
bought.
is
I'll tell you
way
what I bought.
different than I thought.
I had
I
one
thought you were
purchase
going to
I
say
loved.
you hated the client. I thought you were going to say, I hate the clientele
No,
that's there.
that's fine.
I hate the hustle and bustle. I hate the fat asses that are walking around.
I bought
and I
one
hate the
thing.
gluttony of these people buying all kinds
You
of
went to
shit.
Costco and bought one thing?
No. I bought one thing that I'm like, oh, I'm really happy I bought that.
Oh, okay. What?
I thought you hated the vibe.
I
of
bought
it.
jogging pants, joggers. They had like Nautica sweatpants for like $12.99. That was the only thing I was like, oh, great deal.
What about like? Did you buy Dino Nuggets?
No, because they don't have Dino Nuggets there.
Did you buy? Well, that's another thing too. I'm sure there's a Costco version of Dino Nuggets.
This guy buys clothes at Costco.
You don't need to
I bought
buy.
one pair of
and
sweatpants.
meats at Men's Express.
Like I always say that we shop at Aldi, and I've come to the acceptance that when I go to Aldi, I'm not getting, all name brand stuff, but it's close enough, and you trial and error find the brands that work for you. I'm sure it's like dinosaur nuggies is probably are available there. You just need to
all I'm
adjust.
telling you is that I think it's for people that
how about
are
gas? You know how much cheaper gas is?
Oh, Costco gas is really cheap.
So
I know
again, if Rich said I hate the people there, I hate the hustle and bustle, I would have been like, yo, I'm right with you, man. If Jordan could go on her own without me, I'm all for sitting in the car or staying home. I don't ever want to go to that store.
What do you get there
I
that you
hate it.
love so much?
Vitamins, all the shit that I use in bulk.
How many vitamins do you eat?
Yeah, what do
I
you
do. I got
one jar of vitamins is like a 3-month supply.
But I don't have, you know what I have?
Well,
I have a little jar in my medicine cabinet, but you know what I have in my big closet? Big jug of one a day men's vitamins.
Yeah, you got some jugs at your place.
And you know what I have? A big giant jug of vitamin E. In my little medicine cabinet, I have a little one, and I fill it all the time. So if I use it, and I use it every day, deodorant, minoxidil, allergy medicine, meats, whatever. Like there's stuff that I buy there, but again, it's not the one-stop shop. I don't buy everything there, but I end up spending enough money where it gets me by for a month.
I think you need to rewire your brain as to how you shop.
That's kind of it.
So
I think.
Costco is for
Sucks.
It sucks. Is for you have to think of Costco as like maybe for you it's a once a month visit.
Yeah.
I want to go there once every 5
For
years.
your paper
No, but I'm
towels,
saying you
your
stock up
toilet paper.
on staples that don't spoil. For you, things that you use a lot. You don't have to get
Liquor.
perishable goods.
By the way, yeah, alcohol.
Get a ton of stuff, and it's cheaper, and you'll use it over the course of a month. So if meat's not for you, fine. But I'm sure there's a lot of dried goods, popcorn. You love Smart Pop.
They don't have Smart Pop there.
Whatever.
I looked for the
but
things.
they're
I looked
different. All
I looked
Costco's are
for the
different.
things that I like, and they don't have the things I like. And I'm focused on the meat, Renee, because I'm a meat guy. No, I just feel like a fourth of
bacon
that
is
store,
great.
a fourth of that store is dedicated to their meat. I mean, you're lying if you don't say that.
There's also a huge produce section. There's a
fruits.
huge. It's the whole place is big. Every section's big.
But you know, it's also a waste too. Like we got a big thing of blueberries, right? Like a tub of blueberries because Emmy likes blueberries at her school lunch. I could promise you, we don't eat enough blueberries. That's going to go bad.
You're not hearing me. Ready? If I
gonna go
wanted to
bad.
buy ketchup and I'm at Costco, I'm like, I don't need ketchup. The whole spiel, the 6-pack of ketchup
How
that they have.
often do you go through ketchup?
But that's the thing. I don't need that, so I'll get ketchup at Ralph's. But if you want blueberries, just get them at Ralph's. Get them at, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to use them, then you don't buy them there.
But you just
buy
asked me, you
shit
just
in
said
bulk.
produce, so I was just telling you.
No, but Spot said non-perishables.
Like,
whatever it is.
I'll go to, like, we make a weekly trip to Aldi. And that weekly trip to Aldi, I'll stock up on meats because it's all decently priced and a few frozen items, whatever. And then throughout the week, I'll fill in with certain items at Ralph's.
Whatever. I'm done talking about it. I'm just saying that
I don't think you are.
Depending on the supermarket you go to, they have deals that are better than Costco. Like now, Costco meats might be a better deal than Ralph's. But I noticed, you know how you told me Jordan notices that, let's say your beef jerky, which is, I don't know, $8. Occasionally it's $6.
Yeah.
And she knows when to get it, right?
Country Archer.
She's clever like that.
It's a good one. Country Archer. It's really good.
What I buy, I know when the deals are. And I like, for instance, I bought these beautiful steaks to put on the grill the other night because I know that Pavilions has does their steaks like 50% off of. I could tell when they have extra steak and they mark them down. So I don't know. I just feel like Kirkland, and I get it.
But
People
if you know, like your dad's in town this week.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you go to Costco
Yeah.
and you pick up a big package of steaks, and over the course of a couple days you'll have some meat.
they
Or
even look good.
if you Rich,
Steak's not for you.
you're on a new or chicken. You're on a new fitness
Which is acting like he just went there for the meats.
regiment. You go, you buy a bunch of meat, you meal prep, and you have some stuff for the week.
Either way.
well,
Rich's
Costco, I hate.
adventure.
I'm done.
Rewiring your brain. We have a couple calls. People
I think
are really passionate
Spot
about
makes a good
this.
point, and I thought Rich was going to say he hated the people there, so I was all for that conversation.
Oh, I mean, I
not
didn't even,
Walmart.
I
Come
didn't
on.
even make eye contact with someone. I was so aggravated from the minute we walked in.
It's not like you went to Sam's Club.
I was aggravated from the minute we walked in. No, but you know what did make me think, though? For a minute, I was, that idiot that makes, the type of, we all have that one idiot friend that makes purchases he doesn't need, right? Is that you?
No, I
Look at
usually,
you.
I usually,
we don't really have a friend that's that
I usually
irresponsible.
I purchase a lot, but I purchase with purpose.
I did think for like 1 second, you walk in and they have like the 80, I think it was an 85-inch TV. And I was like, ooh, that would look pretty sweet. I'm like, I don't need an 85-inch
like-
TV. That was the only thing I was like,
That's the cool part of
ooh.
Costco. You could buy that and a hot dog.
It's right. When you see
there.
It's like when you see an 85-inch TV, you're like, my 65-inch isn't that big after all.
85-inch TV and a foot-long hot dog.
Right?
I don't even know what is mine 70 or 75?
70.
70.
Oh, that's the
ESPN
one.
The ESPN one 70 because like 70 compared to 85 looks sort of tiny, and you're like, ooh,
You're like, oh.
85 inch, huh?
If it looks big in
Got a
the
big
store,
wall.
imagine how big that looks
Yeah.
at home.
You could fill that whole wall with a TV.
So ridiculous.
I would.
That's Rich's
Floor to ceiling, baby.
Costco adventure. We wanted to share that with you on
I
Friday.
just think
Ran out of time.
Costco's a good place to get people to buy things they don't need. More so than Target and Walmart is all I'm saying. You go there with like, I really don't need anything, and you're like, you know what I could use?
then that's your
A
fault.
tub of chocolate covered walnuts.
That doesn't make sense what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Cheesy
Don't
puffs.
go to Costco if you don't need anything. Then you're just an idiot.
Right, but if there's things that you use a lot of, then you go and you get a big amount of them for cheaper. That's the point.
Like
of
no
it.
one goes to Costco for fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Oh, I
Costco
think
and buying.
people go- people go there for
I'm not
fun.
going there and
they
buying a
don't.
64-ounce tub of mayonnaise because I'm like, oh, I just need to go buy mayonnaise. If I use a lot of mayonnaise, I'm going to go to
Yeah,
Costco
you know
and
what
buy
you
a
see?
giant.
You see a lot of
Get a
people
10-gallon
with
tub of
stacked
mayonnaise.
carts, and you think to yourself, they're either having a giant party or they're filling inventory at a restaurant they work at. They have to be, because like who needs that much of, I don't know, whatever it is.
And you also have to be okay buying their brands of stuff, and some people might not want to. You know,
Hey man, say teach his
so
own.
Costco,
Costco.
not for me.
Scratch it off.
Not for me. Cross it off. You could take my
think-
Costco card.
I think it could be for you. I wish I could use your. No, you know what? There's nothing I need in bulk.
You're a single man with a wife. You don't have kids and you don't have people to feed. It's you and your wife.
I don't know.
What
I
would
eat
you
it.
ever
Let's
need?
see.
And you have one fridge in your house.
What do I eat a lot of? Egg whites. Can you get me some egg whites next time you go to Costco?
It's ridiculous.
Give me a big tub of that.
All right. Well,
Egg
Jordan
Mountain.
said we just bought a self-watering huge ass plant for $40. That would have been at least $70, $80 at Home Depot.
It waters itself.
It waters itself.
Yeah, it's a self. I don't know why.
What is it like? Go to the
It's
sink
snake,
and
one of those snake plants.
it goes to the sink and gets like a little
Yeah.
watering can.
Waters itself.
It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. $40.
Let's take some calls.
All right. What do you got?
Let's see. Who's this?
Bringing it all back.
I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back. Parker.
Yo,
Hey guys, how you doing?
what's up?
So, Rich, now I'm biased because I'm an employee, but
Oh.
like you couldn't get your like crappy $6 Walmart shoes at Costco and buy like a $15 pair.
You're an employee where?
And you-
At Costco.
yeah, Costco.
Oh, so he's going to be offended by this.
Yeah, but he makes sense.
No, I'm
like,
not
what
offended
about
at all.
a loaf of,
I
you
just-
eat
I
bread,
think
right?
that-
You
Yeah,
could,
but no, but I
agree,
don't. But
too.
no,
Like, I
no.
don't
Great
buy
example.
everything
Thank
at
you.
Costco just because I work there, dude.
No, but I'm saying Covino just goes, yo, like bread. We end up wasting bread in this house getting a loaf of bread. So why would I need a 5-pack of loaves of bread?
So you don't buy bread.
Well,
but that's what I'm saying.
or you split it with Covino.
Yeah,
oh my
you just
God.
split
it with
Like,
Covino.
three
Now
things you
Covino
picked
and
up
I are
and
going
you
shopping
have
together?
Which
them.
is right. Like if I'm still all right, if I'm gonna get 2 for the price of 1, if I do have an extra loaf of bread, I'll give it to my sister. Like it's
now
still
you're
a better.
now you're
but it's
communal
still
shopping?
a better deal. Like it doesn't have to go to waste.
Right. And don't get your meat there. Like, I get it. They have good meat. But, yeah, if you're having a party, go get the meat.
I think it's a great place to. You know what?
You
I
know,
think
I
next,
don't know.
I
I
think
just
it's a
feel
great
like
place.
I hear that from old people, too. Oh, I don't need 12 things of toilet paper. Well, split it with your neighbor. I don't, you know.
People
it
are
is
splitting
cheaper
stuff
in
with
the
their
long
neighbors.
run.
All right, thank you.
Honestly,
Again,
things like that you should buy a bunch of, and just like you have a garage, build a shelf in there. Have a little stockpile like they do on extreme couponing.
Oh, that's a life. That's a life that gives me. I think that's terrible.
You know what it goes back? Oh, I figured it out. It goes back to his desire or his lack of desire to have stuff around.
Yeah,
and I feel like
stuff. She doesn't want paper Brawny Mountain.
Takes up
I
space.
don't want Brawny Mountain.
So you just don't want any stuff. You just want to live as needed, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's your life. You live as needed.
You're a subsistence shopper.
I'm just saying when you're going to the store 5 times a week.
Do you remember what subsistence farmers did?
Because Ben's
they
eating.
They made just enough for themselves. Yeah.
Like your kids eat cereal every morning. Your kids eat oatmeal every morning.
Yeah, and
Emmy loves waffles every morning.
I get cereal when it's on sale at the supermarket in like 3 at a time. I don't need 25 boxes of.
It's not for you. I didn't think it was for me either. But you know what? Jordan shops better than I do, so she finds shit to buy.
Yeah, she does.
I felt the same way Rich did, but again, I'm not knowledgeable in this stuff, in this world. So,
who else?
Caleb, is it Dribble? Dibble. There it is.
What's up, Caleb?
Hey guys. So I have 2 points. One is, we do the whole Costco shopping, but we share it with other family members. So there are, my wife has 3 siblings. So what we do is we get a list of what everybody needs, and we go to Costco and get the meat, and then we have the vacuum seal on our counter that we end up separating everything out and packaging it, and then separating it amongst all of us, and then we split the cost. It's a way to save money and still be able to feed all of the families and be able to, work on a budget, right? And then the second thing that I wanted to say,
if you have family close by and you got 3 kids and someone else has 3 kids, and you're like, all right, let's budget shop together because you're trying to save money and you don't have a lot of money. Makes sense. I'm just saying,
just
family,
not for Rich.
Yeah, a family with like a kid or so that it doesn't make sense.
The second thing, Rich should have bought a surround sound at Costco.
I looked and they didn't have any good ones. I looked and they didn't have any good ones. I did check. I looked and it was like no big.
Rich bought a karaoke machine instead.
I did. Hold on, Spock. Can you turn on my dad's mic?
Oh yeah.
Pick it up.
Dad mic, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah,
Greg.
talk really close. Oh, geez, what the heck?
What is this? Bulge
It's the junk shot.
Bulge cam?
How did that change? Oh, the camera fell.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's welcome Rich's dad, Greg, to the CNR.
Junk shot. Sorry, Greg.
What's
I was
up,
going to
Dad?
say program, but amateur Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm coming
I got
over?
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming over.
This is my little comment in regards to it. Everyone's situation is different in life. I disagree with Rich when I find since I've been here, anything he wants, he's constantly, every day, going to the store to pick up items. I or my wife doesn't want to be in a store every day picking up an item to have that night. We shop at Stop and Shop. We don't go to Costco. We go to Stop and Shop. We just get a lot of stuff that lasts us 2 or 3 weeks. And my son, Rich, doesn't believe in freezing things. We do. We get lamb shoulder. We'll get pork chops, steak, and we freeze it because we don't want to every day just go to there just to get an item to eat. But everyone's situation's different. He has 2 little rugrats running around. They're not eating pork chops and lamb shoulder, so his is a different situation in a way.
And I actually like getting out. Like, oh, what do you want to have?
Nailed it though, but the majority do not. Most people want to go to the grocery store once a week tops. You like going there every night.
My grocery store is 2 minutes from here, so on a given night, if I'm like, oh, what are you feeling tonight?
That's the difference.
Ooh, what do you want to have
right.
tonight? Pork chops? Oh, you want to have steak? Oh, you want to have chicken? What do you want to eat? And then I feel like, all right, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And I'm quick. I'm like a fast mover. You know me. I'm quick with these things. So I'm like in and out, back in 10 minutes. I rather that than be like, hey, don't forget tomorrow, let's defrost this. I can't do that.
Well, you know what? That explains it. That really does. That is the nail on the head.
I like to go out and about. That's interesting.
And most people do not. Your dad is absolutely right. I don't want to go to the supermarket multiple times a week. Fuck out of here.
That's a great. That's
in fact,
that's
the
best.
guy
Honestly,
does.
the best point.
Yeah. In fact, I bought paper towels yesterday, and it was the biggest bulk paper towels I bought in a long time because the deal was just really good at Pavilions. It was like 50% off if you bought like I'm talking it's about like the 12 big rolls of paper. But usually I buy a 4-pack and be like, yeah, I'll go back in a week or so.
But
I don't want to put that shit somewhere.
Rethinking, rewiring your mindset on how to shop.
Are you
in this
choking
way.
too?
I'm just getting emotional.
Well,
Because
by the way,
I had a realization too. I felt that way about Costco when I first got there. I'm like, I don't understand this. Who needs all this crap? But then I realized that, it does work out and it does save you some money. So if you have room to store this shit, which Rich is still living in a little apartment-based mentality too. He has plenty of room to store tons of shit. You have room for a freezer in your fridge.
It's not my mindset, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a different mindset. You have room in your garage for Brawny Mountain and stacks of toilet paper and ketchups. So it's just a different way of thinking, different way of life. I just hate the hustle and bustle of it.
Yeah.
People suck.
Before you said you were getting emotional, I have an emotional thought I want to get to today. But I have another observation I made this weekend. We'll go over what we did this weekend. We'll make fun of Joy Behar a little bit. We'll talk about your little weird things where it's like your little idiosyncrasies. What makes you weird and you accept it?
When I just bust out like this?
Yeah, that. What makes you peculiar, but you admit it? You're like,
when I get nervous and I squiggle my ears?
Yeah. So they lifted the mask mandate out here in LA.
But did they?
This is not a controversial conversation. I'm just more inquisitive because I asked you guys. They lifted the mask mandate. And I've been going to stores like I do every day because I'm just constantly going to stores because I like to. And any store I've gone to this weekend, wouldn't you know it, everyone's still wearing their mask. And I went in without my mask. And I was like, I asked the person, I'm like, I'm sorry, do I need a mask? Do you have an extra one? They're like, no, you don't need one. Everyone's still wearing one, which makes me think one of two things. People don't know the mandate's over. And Spot mentioned this because Spot's like, if I didn't have the neighborhood app, I don't think I would have known. Or if you didn't watch the local news, you might not have known. So either people don't know or, Dad, you made the point. You think people are just like conditioned and creatures of habit. And you were saying like they're just used to it now.
Yeah. Being in New York and everything, it's a little stricter there, but everything's being eased up now. But most people, out of habit, even myself, who I'm not Mr. Careful. I mean, I've traveled in the last couple of years. I've done things. I'm not a maniac with it, but I have traveled. But I'm just so conditioned. If I'm in the supermarket for a little bit, I could wear it. But what killed me was being on the flight, coming here from New York, like eight hours of having a mask on. It was rough. But we all had to do it. On a plane, you have to wear it the whole time, and they're constantly going down, looking if you're wearing it.
Yeah, that
was a struggle.
That's a struggle for people that are just like, I don't want to wear this. But I'm just amazed that it's been lifted. And Jason hit us up saying that's a perfect example of people just, demonstrating the freedom. If they want it, they can have it. If not, no. But to me, I was fascinated that I walked into Starbucks to get my mobile order. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't have a mask. I'm like, I don't need one. Like one other person without a mask. Everyone's sitting down drinking their coffee, no mask. But the 5 people in line, masks. And I'm like, wow.
I'm with your dad. Even I feel conditioned sort of to do it now. It's just like my instinct. And it was just lifted, right? I think some people just need to ease back into the old way again.
Yeah, it's interesting. I told my daughter, I was like, Emmy, no more masks. Let's put it away. Because I was like, let's end this chapter. And I'm amazed that people are still opting to wear it, or I think Spot might be right in that I don't think a lot of people realize it.
Can I make one comment that amazes me with the whole thing with COVID? My wife and myself, we've been walking through parks, down in trails, in the woods, going to different Long Island state parks, and people be jogging or walking by, very few people, but the people who are there, runners, people walking, are wearing a mask with no one around the whole time. And people driving in a car by themselves, they're wearing a mask in a car on the highway.
Yeah.
I said, makes no sense to
We
me.
see
What
that
are they
all the
looking?
time.
Where are they going to get?
I always assume Uber drivers
Crazy.
just assume.
Uber drivers, or they just forgot? Because I've caught myself once or twice. Like, what am I doing wearing a mask in the car?
I think people, some could say, like Wes said, brainwashed. Some people just forget. I think it's a forget thing.
Like Friday was the first day. And I went to the supermarket on Friday night, and I did. As I was walking in, I'm looking for the sign. Didn't see a sign. I was with Kristen. I'm like, are we doing this? What's going on? Are we doing this? No sign that said masks required. And I'm looking around at people, mask. I'm like, oh,
everyone's still got it.
This person's wearing a mask, all right? Then I went up the escalator. I'm like, maybe I'll put it on when I get, or choose when I get up the escalator to see what's happening. Got it to the top of the stairs. The workers were wearing it, so I'm like, I'll just wear it one more day. I don't know.
No
one.
Well, they did.
There was a mess that said wear a mask, but then all the bosses, no one. I walked in, I saw the important people not wearing masks, and like no one on stage or the techs that like the.
Well, that they do.
The guys setting up the equipment were.
Did they have the COVID sniffing dog again?
No, they did not.
That was cool.
But yeah, no, it was just one of those things that I'm wondering. Like people might be like, man, when is this gonna be over now? And they say you don't have to. Yet there's still people that do, which I'm like, oh, interesting. I wonder how many people moving forward are gonna be like, man, I'm gonna still wear it because I certainly am not. Like I hope those days are over.
I'm gonna take it easy.
I hope those days are over. All right.
Eventually, I mean, I'm still putting mine on for a few more days, and then.
For what reason? Why a couple more days?
Because I don't trust it.
Trust what?
I don't know where you've been.
But what do you mean the last couple, like for a couple more days? Like,
I just feel like, all right. It's like you didn't get the vaccine the day it came out, right? You waited a little bit. So, just wait a little bit until we know the coast is clear. Then I'll take mine off. I just feel more comfortable that way.
Coast is clear?
Yeah, I don't like being the first to do anything.
Okay. Let's see. People in California might be conditioned to wear them. That's from Jason. People are still going to wear masks. There's a majority of the population Yeah,
they're called Slipknot.
That are going to wear it forever. We'll make fun of her later, but Joy Behar, who, I'm so upset that her trip to Italy is, altered by Ukraine. I'm devastated for Joy Behar, my most hated person. She said she's going to wear a mask for the rest of her life. I think she should wear some over her whole face.
And on TV while she's at it. So, yeah, we'll talk about her in the rando news. All right, I have a silly story. I just want to know.
Oh, I was going to say, I had you said you were feeling emotional.
Oh, yeah.
I had an emotional, last night, my dad was saying we said something on the show that was an emotional thought that hit him. And I think now because of this, we're going to be doing some more partying and traveling and vacationing, which is it Aziz Ansari? What comedian does that bit where it's like, if you only see a family member a couple times a year and you do the math, you could almost figure out how many more times you're going to see that person in your life.
I told you, he stole that from Maria Menounos.
Maria Menounos, you said that.
She said that prior to the Aziz special. So I credit her.
You credit our pal Maria Menounos, but Aziz Ansari did that in his, it was a comedy special, but it was more of like a...
Are you confusing Indian guys?
Was it not Aziz?
Confused. Was it the dude that was on The Daily Show? Who was it?
Oh, maybe it was. I thought it was Aziz because I feel like you said Aziz, but maybe it was the dude.
I feel like you're confusing me now. But either way, I know where you're going.
Are you talking about Hassan Minaj?
It might have been Hassan Minaj because it was less of a comedy special, more of like a TED Talk almost.
Somebody knows the reference. It's, if you see your parents twice a year and they've got about maybe 10 years to live, you're going to see your parents 20 more times.
Yeah. And then you're like,
every time goes by, like 18, 17, 16. Like, it's kind of sad when you think of life that way, but that's sort of the truth.
And we brought that up when you went to go visit your parents.
Right.
Because your dad always like, man, maybe I got like 10 years. And you're like,
what do I got? 10 more years?
I hope your dad has more than 10 years, but
if someone has to wipe my ass, kill me. So I don't want nobody wipe my ass.
If your dad's all like, I got 10 years, and if you go to Jersey once or twice a year, it is a sad thought to see how many times
the countdown's on, right?
The sad countdown's on. So last night we were having drinks, watching a movie and talking, and Dad, you were saying like, yeah, that's a reason to do more travel, do more trips.
Yeah. One thing I'm thinking about, I'm going to ask you, could I stay another week? Is it possible? Because, our time is limited. So I think, is that cool for me to stay a week?
You can stay as long as you want. He was saying like, hey, maybe we'll go to, maybe next year we'll go to Mexico. We'll do something. I'm like, yeah, let's do it because,
but you better freeze some pork chops for your dad then.
get the frozen meat. But it is a thought that, listen, if your parents are 60 or 70, even if they live to 90 something to live a great life, 20 years, a couple times a year, you're right. There's like a sad in the back of your mind countdown that us bringing up. I know, Dad, you were saying that really bummed you out. That was like a bummer of a thought.
Yeah, just the idea of seeing maybe 20 more times in the next 10 10, 15 years.
Yeah, it sucks.
That ain't a hell of a lot. I mean,
a sad
that's
reality.
a scary thought. And it really, it's in my mind, and it's a sad, it's a rough, it's a real way of looking at it, but.
Yeah, it's a sad way of looking at it, but it is the truth.
Yeah.
And Eric B is saying it was Aziz Ansari. It was his comedy special right after those allegations or accusations, I should say.
But based on that theory, though, I love my dad's approach, and his approach is like, well, if we're saying God willing another 10 or 20 years, so let's make the best of it. He's like, he was already saying like, hey, we went to the DR for his 70th. He's like, next year, why don't we go to Mexico or go to Aruba? Pick a place. Let's all go get together with the family. Maybe that's the approach you have to have, because you never want to look back one day and be like, man, I really wish we would have done more cool things together.
What's a sadder countdown? That or the time that Spider Harrison was all upset that one time? He was like, coming in at number 5.
That was a sadder countdown.
That's kind of sad. Remember that? He was like, I'm a little sniffly right now.
That's a sad countdown.
But here's the latest one from Olivia Rodrigo. Oh, my back.
That is a sad countdown.
My back is hurting too. It's been a bad weekend. The Sirius XM hits 1.
But
that was kind of sad.
That was man. Bing.
But it's also sad when you think I might only see my parents, 10 more times in my life, unless you counteract, like Greg's suggesting right now, which is the right
live it up.
mindset. That's the better mindset. You know what I mean? Like you could have the
Casey and the Sunshine.
Nobody said last night. He goes, "Aren't you and Covino going to Vegas a few times in the next month or so?" He goes, "I may come meet you."
No. You could have the glass half empty and say, "Yeah, man, it's a sad countdown." Or you could say, hey, let's make every encounter count, and let's make more memories, like Greg is saying. I subscribe to Greg's theory on this one, even though what Aziz says or Maria Menounos says is true.
Yeah.
Just a shitty way to look at it.
Aruba is my favorite place on earth. Go there. That's from Becker. But yeah, that's the top 3 place I've ever. Who doesn't love Aruba? You've been to Aruba?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's a place.
You know what else was a pretty sad countdown? When Rich tried to hype up 2006, because 2006 sucked.
It's the worst year.
It's Pop 2K. We're counting down the greatest songs of 2006.
That's such a random side note, but Covino sent me a video the other day, Spot, on TikTok.
There's a guy who says, anything you think of in the early 2000s.
Or the 2000s. Anything you think of that's cool.
None of it came from 2006. He says the worst year of all years. So I asked Rich, and Rich was like, absolutely. It's the year I struggle with most.
Yeah. Covino said to me, he goes, watch this video.
You want me to send it to you?
Yeah.
I got it.
There's a guy that's like any movie. So you think like, oh, what's a movie? Wedding Crashers, 40-year-old virgin. You think of 06.
No.
And 06 is a year where, in fact, hold on. If you give me 10 seconds, I have my 2000s. I have my 2000 cheat sheets.
Welcome to my sad countdown. Coming in at number 2.
I want to see.
I'll send it to you. I got the video right here, Spot.
2006 in pop culture.
I sent the video to you.
Okay.
This guy says his theory is that no matter, it's his 2006 theory. Any sort of memory you have of the 2000s, he guarantees that it's not 2006. It's either
Nanny
before or afterward. And he's like, his theory is like, his theory then amounts to, I don't think 2006 ever happened. It didn't exist because nothing comes from it. And Rich actually agreed with the theory because he does countdowns for Pop 2K. So when he does 2006,
I go old school. Because when you're recording on a computer...
The breakup came out in 2006.
When you're recording, Covino...
No one talks about that.
When you're recording a countdown...
came out in 2006.
Spot, save your thought. Play this guy's clip, and then I will tell you, because I have to do these countdowns, and Covino's right. I have cheat sheets and notes for every year of like the last decade or so. I write them out because I don't want to be going back and forth from computers when I'm doing it. So I have the little cheat sheets.
I disagree with this guy.
All right, let's hear it. This guy's 100% right on.
My theory. It is called the 2006 theory. Not the catchiest name I've ever come up with, but it's straight to the point. 2006 theory is very simple, and it goes like this. Think of something. Think of anything from the mid-2000s. Movie, game, music. Did I say those already? Anything you associate with the 2000s, anything of a significant cultural impact. It didn't happen in 2006. It didn't. 100% whatever you're thinking of did not happen in 2006. If you want to take it a step even further, dude, I bet you'll have trouble just thinking of something that happened in 06. Like literally comment something that happened in 06. You're not going to do it. Yes, I know there was a Super Bowl, there was a World Series. Significant cultural impact. Name something that happened in 2006. I challenge you. I'm going to let you in on
this guy's right, Spot.
That's comment fishing.
Spot,
That's all it is. He's trying to get comments.
No, Spot, because I
No, I
immediately.
disagree.
All right.
I went to Rich. I thought Rich was the expert, so
I'm
I
looking
went
at the
to him. Rich
comments.
said it's true.
I'm looking at the comments. Rich, how do you ignore this? How I Met Your Mother started in 2006.
How I Met Your Mother started in 2005.
Yeah, that
It's
started when we
2006.
started our show.
Yeah.
So, no.
High School Musical, Hannah Montana.
Exactly. Let me read the list.
Taylor Swift's first
This is
album.
what happened in 2006. These are the when I tell you
things
that
happen, but no
Spot,
one references those
Spot,
things.
When I tell you that when I do a countdown for 06, I don't know what year I'm going to do the countdown every weekend. So I get the little note from the boss like, all right, this weekend's 02. And I'll be like,
Click.
Man, no one like Click but us because we like Fonzie and Sandler.
Little Miss Sunshine. It
Dude,
won an
no
Oscar.
no one references Little Miss Sunshine ever. You're making our point even easier.
That was a great movie.
Things happened, like he said.
Life happened. It was, yeah.
Someone won the
Snakes
Super
on a
Bowl.
plane.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
You're bringing up
you're
the
proving
least
the point.
culturally important events of
You're
all
proving
time.
the point. That was
Yeah.
the weakest movie.
Spot Spot thinks he's doing the opposite, but Spot, honestly, you're being a great teammate.
Jackass number 2 came out.
06.
The Departed. The Departed was a fantastic movie.
I've never
I liked
seen
it.
it. I've never seen it.
You've never seen The Departed?
Was it culturally impactful?
It was not culturally impactful.
The Departed. It
was a good movie that I missed.
Leo
but
DiCaprio, Matt Damon, and Jack Nicholson was not a great movie. You are garbage.
This guy's 100% right when I tell you that I have the proof in the notes. I've had to scrounge together
Let's hear
what
this,
I have
let's
only
hear the sad countdown.
of all my notes. Guess what I have for 06? One page.
The Holiday.
Dude,
which we still
again,
watch to this day.
Nothing.
The Holiday.
Spot's proving the point.
A Christmas movie with
Look how
Jude
far you have
Law.
to stretch, though.
No, I'm not
Spot.
stretching.
Yeah, you are.
Dude,
Not
you're
stretching.
stretching big time.
Rocky Balboa came out in
Again, no one
2000.
cares about
likes
that but
it.
us.
We
That's
like
Life's All Sunshine. You quoted it on Fox Sports Radio last night.
Dude,
Life
no
ain't
one
all
cares.
sunshine
All
and rainbows.
Here's the.
You guys you're just trying to make a point the other
I
way.
saw a video. I sent it to the expert. Rich agreed. That's all I
And
know.
he's
about
100%
this.
right
I
because
disagree with both of you.
if you pick, all right, I'm gonna do just to prove the point. I'll quickly go through 06 and then I'll pick any other year and you'll see how any other year you're like, oh shit, oh cool. 06. Here are the biggest things that happened in 06.
Coming in at number 5.
Stop it.
Twitter launched. That was a big one.
Oh,
But Twitter is like the least social media that we've cared about.
I remember that day.
Twitter. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, died.
Oh, rest in peace.
Disney bought Pixar for $7 billion.
That's a big deal.
These are like headlines because nothing pop
way,
culture happened.
Music-wise.
If these are Rich's notes, though, for his countdowns, like
The
who
1
cares?
billionth song was downloaded on iTunes.
I remember that. I tried to get I tried to win something.
Pluto was downgraded from a planet
Dwarf.
to a.
Now it's Planet Puto.
Western Union sent its last telegram. I'm telling you, I'm stretching because
that's in your
I'm
like highlights.
Yes, because
That's
these are
so
the highlights.
Listen, musically,
People were quoting Borat.
you love that. You still do.
Nice.
Right. My wife, you still do it to this day. Culturally
Brittany and
important.
K-Fed broke up. Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards broke up.
When was Winning?
Hannah Montana and Ugly Betty and 30 Rock were hot new shows.
I love 30 Rock.
Lance Bass came out. Dick Cheney accidentally shot his friends.
Oh, I remember that.
And Mel Gibson had a DUI racist rant.
That was great.
That is the best I could come up with.
Justin Timberlake
Scouring a year.
released Future Sex Love Sounds. Fantastic album. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Stadium Arcadium. Not their best.
Who cares? You're
Beyonce
proving that
birthday.
things happened. We're not saying things didn't happen. You know, things happened, but it wasn't culturally impactful.
It just
That's
some
as
years are
simple as
better than
that.
others.
To
I'm sure if you asked
you.
I'm sure if you asked your parents.
To you.
I'm sure if you asked your parents,
Hey, I
like,
don't know. Rich,
hey,
Rich backed it up.
if you ask your parents, like, hey, like in the 80s or 70s, there's probably years or a couple years that sucked more than others, right?
So what's a sadder countdown?
Oh,
Your best of 2006, or
how many times are you going to see
how
your
many
family?
times are you going to see your family? Think about that. Think about that.
Want to take another year randomly?
Sure.
Just tell me. Pick another year, and I'll tell you which one of the 2000s.
2004.
The Devil Wears Prada came out in 06. Paul, best movie ever.
It's a good movie.
Best movie ever.
But again, to us, no one, like, are your friends always like talking about that movie? No, we are because we like it.
04, Nipplegate started the year.
Oh, yeah. That was
Napoleon Dynamite, Anchorman, Mean Girls, Ashley Simpson on SNL, The Friends finale, J-Lo and Ben
Yeah, but
broke
look how
up.
much he has notes and notes and notes.
Facebook launched.
Covino
Britney
Rich started.
Spears, Beyonce won her first Grammy, broke up with Destiny's Child. The Red Sox broke the curse of 86 years and won the
Huge.
World Series.
No, that's huge.
Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. World of Warcraft
mean-
launched. George W. Bush won re-election. The iPod Mini came in. Jimmy Fallon said goodbye to to SNL and hello to late night. Desperate Housewives and Lost were big shows. Like it's
Jimmy Fallon started late night in 2004.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. So he's been doing it the same time, as we've been doing it.
One, correct me if I'm wrong, 2004, did the Covino and Rich show start?
He is
there you
right.
go.
In 2004,
That is true.
right?
You
I
are
Right, Greg.
Yeah.
December 2004 is when
Yeah.
we started. So
it just, I mean, these are all long ago, but it's just funny that 06 theory is sort of right. That 06 sort of stunk. Spot, hey, maybe for you it was awesome, but
well, look, I don't want to lose
I think you're bending the point. It's wasn't the greatest year, but stuff's happened.
of course, Spot, stuff happens every year. I just think the interesting part is
Yeah, but how
this
can
guy
you
made,
argue the guy that highlights the
Yeah, how
countdown?
could you argue the fact that some guy made a stupid video and then Covino asked me, what's the weakest year? And I'm like,
I think-
definitely 06. And it backed up that guy's points.
Allow me to say it to you.
No, but
Things
universally, though.
you just said. I've never seen The Departed. The Departed is a great movie.
But
and
you
it came
think
out in
that
06.
defined the 2000s? Yeah.
It was a huge movie of the 2000s. Yes.
No, I would say like Anchorman was a huge movie of the 2000s.
Gosh. Let's not lose the point. The point is make the times with your friends and family count.
You know what I say to that?
Because there is a sad countdown
what I
that
say
we
to that.
ignore.
You're just being a contrarian. It's okay. I get it. It's part of the role we all have to play at times. 06 stunk. I mean,
see, this is where I don't argue with Rich.
yeah, because you
who
don't
knows
just for the hell of it.
more
Yeah.
than me, more than him.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm telling you, oh, bro, yeah, that's the hardest year to do a countdown because it was really not much pop culture went on. Believe you me, why would I lie?
But absolutely, it could have been good for you. 2006 could have been the year you graduated, and the world was fresh
I'm with
and
Jason.
fun. And
I'm with Jason. I feel bad for the schlub in 20 years from now that has to do the 2020 countdown or 2021 countdown.
God,
They're gonna have the worst years.
That's a good point.
Who's gonna be doing that? Some little kid, some influencer.
That's a sad countdown.
Hey, let's take a look back at 2021 where life just sucked. Here's Katy Perry.
I just think it wasn't in your scope. I think you were too
All right,
busy.
dude.
I
You would
think you
know.
were too busy with your face buried in some ass cheeks on Maxim Radio
Yeah, I mean,
to acknowledge anything.
it is possible, Spot, but or the simple fact that
you weren't worried
or
about.
the simple fact that it's common knowledge
Departed.
on Pop 2K that with me and my Pop 2K boss at like, 06 is like the weak year, and then Covino brings it up. Like, that's not
You were
coincidence?
you weren't watching The Departed. You were using
I was parting
You were
butt
using your
cheeks.
D to
part.
part
Yeah.
butt cheeks.
Hey, there you go.
What's wrong with that?
I did compare Anchorman to The Departed. What had a bigger cultural impact, you moron? Maybe you're not a moron, but
Cultural impact.
yeah, cultural impact. Yeah, Departed,
might be a better movie. but
Departed's probably a great movie, but
No one's quoting it.
No one's ever
still
talking about
quoting the Anchorman.
Yeah,
So I said the Anchorman.
I let you get away with it.
I know. Yo, you know
The
what?
Anchorman.
That's actually a random sort of observation a lot of people are making now. Sometimes you put the where it doesn't belong. Like I always say the Deftones, and it's just Deftones. However, it is the White Stripes.
Oh, what
A
was
lot of
this?
people are saying the Ukraine, but it's not
Yeah,
the
what was that?
Ukraine. It's Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah.
And,
It's like that's like saying the France or the Italy. Like it's
but
just
why-
Italy.
but-
It's
but-
just
but
France.
why for
And
years?
We're all
But why?
so
But why for
conditioned to
years?
say the Ukraine.
Yeah, but why?
When it's just Ukraine.
Was it ever the Ukraine? Because there's no
Never.
reason. There's got to
As
be a
far as
reason
I
why
know.
Ukraine.
But instinctually, like I catch myself saying it too sometimes. I'm like, yeah.
There has to be a reason, though, Cove. There has to be a reason.
I don't know.
Maybe we were taught wrong because I would never have the instinct to say
Oh,
the
Richie,
Russia, the
your
China.
family, some from Russia, some from the Ukraine. Probably got it from your dad.
No, I just feel like at some point in our life we were taught incorrectly, or a show or something, because there'd be no reason why a lot of people say the Ukraine, because I'm sure at some point someone said it incorrectly. Because you have no you don't say the Canada, the Mexico. I don't know.
Ukraine. Here's what it says according to Wikipedia. Ukraine is one of a few English country names traditionally used with the definitive article the. This is apparently because the word Ukraina means borderland.
So
and
the
so
borderlands
would be translated as if the borderlands,
But it's
the
just Ukraine.
Kind
However,
of like
it is
how
the Bahamas.
the Netherlands or Nederlanden means Netherlands,
That
which is
Nederlanden?
translated to the Netherlands. So
Yeah, but we're wrong for saying it.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is Spot
Where
gave
was the seed planted?
Spot gave a good explanation, because at some point the translation leaves the interpretation to the.
So you're going to tell me that
I didn't know that, but there's a reason because I'm sure at some point one of your teachers or some idiot said probably the Ukraine, and you were like, yeah, the Ukraine.
Because
we wouldn't all say it incorrectly if someone didn't teach us. So I bet you long ago we all said it wrong.
Though. Here's the difference. Some people are going to be like, no, I've always said the Ukraine, so I'm going to stick with the Ukraine. And instead of making the slight adjustment of saying, oh, it's just Ukraine. All right, I might slip here and there, but I'll roll with that.
Ukraine appears firstly on English maps as the Ukraine because it's the borderlands in the 16th and 17th centuries. So it's gone. It dates back that far.
But here's the question:
the United States.
Spot.
Yeah.
Back in the USSR, back in the old school Russia days.
Yeah.
USSR, Soviet Union.
It was not an independent country.
Because at that point, was it referred to as the Ukraine?
Yes.
And then when it became an independent country, it was Ukraine? Is that perhaps the answer?
I don't know, but I have seen people correct.
Did I just actually say? Did I actually just figure it out and be? Was I smarty pants?
Don't jump ahead. Who knows? You could have just made that
because
up.
Think about it. When we were kids in the Soviet Union, USSR, if it was just a territory spot, maybe at that point it was the Ukraine.
It still was. And then when I'm reading an article.
Oh.
When they tried to dissociate from the Soviet Union and become their own entity, they wanted to be Ukraine. Just like they changed like all the cities that were Russian. They try to change the spelling. Like, I'm sure you know Kiev.
Yeah, Kiev.
It used to be K-I-E-V, and now it's K-Y-I-V.
I hear people pronounce it different than I thought.
I'm just to put those where they don't belong just to piss people off.
It's pronounced.
Oh, I think I'm going to the Aruba for vacation.
It's pronounced Kiev.
Yeah, Kiev. I always think
it used to be Kiev. In the Russian form. So now it's
So, all right. So there's an explanation. Honestly, we could move on for it, but there is an explanation. If you are saying the Ukraine by mistake, it's because when we were kids and the Soviet Union was still a thing, it was the Ukraine. When they became independent, they dropped Ta-da.
I don't know who the source is, but it says when you say it, you're taking away their autonomy by saying you're just saying they're a region rather than saying they're a country. So say Ukraine.
Right.
By the way, speaking of that part of the world,
Ukraine will crush you.
Speaking of that part of the world, you're not quite sure if people are going to be able to go in and out of that part of the world anytime soon. My dad was supposed to go to Belarus for Roma. You know, his real son, Roma, his best bud. Roma is getting married in Belarus, and I'm not sure where any Americans are going to be able to go to that part of the world anytime soon. Right? I mean, no news on that, right?
No news on that, but it's in July and things are not looking so good. I mean,
yeah,
I may have to go there by private jet.
Maybe
to make the wedding, which I really want to do. But,
yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Things change on the dime.
Yeah. Who knows?
Today's a big day, not only with Russia and Ukraine, but MLB as well. I was thinking there's two things going on today. I mean, they're so far apart in relevance and importance, but it's going to be an interesting news day, I imagine.
Yeah. The world, the world is at war, and baseball may not happen.
Well, again, it came down to today. See if they could figure something out. Otherwise, you start losing games. So, anyway, welcome to our show. We appreciate you guys hanging out here. The countdown is on, the sad countdown. So live your life.
Yeah,
and
I have
now if we could only figure out
stories.
Why they call it the Ohio State.
Hand spot. That's the next one.
Actually, there is an explanation, and I'm reading about it, but I don't think anyone cares.
Why did my nanny used to call herself the Elsa? I am the Elsa.
I'm the Elsa.
The Elsa.
I used to like the Elsa.
The Elsa.
So last night we watched a movie, and it got me thinking because I wonder what you'd be capable of as a regular guy. So we watched Marry Me with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Wow, muchacho. Wow. Owen Wilson, such a likable guy that you forget because you haven't seen him maybe in a minute in a newer movie. Just such a likable guy. And it reminds me of that other show that I watched, Baker and the Beauty, where Spot, that good-looking superstar, ended up with like just the random Latino guy in Miami who's the baker.
Mm-hmm.
She was essentially like a Kardashian, and she's like, you. And he was just a regular baker. in this movie, you know the premise. It's no surprise. J-Lo's at a concert. Something goes wrong with her. She's engaged to the I guess you would say, it would be like Kim and Kanye. It's like the two big stars. It's played by that guy Maluma that Janelle always used to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And things go wrong. And she's like, well, I'm going to marry you then. She points.
No, he's at a show and he's holding up a sign, right?
Yeah, he's holding up a sign. But she was supposed to get married. I mean, it's no spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
She was supposed to marry, essentially. It would be like if Kim and Kanye or some superstar couple, J-Lo and Ben Affleck, got married on network television.
Doesn't work out. She's heartbroken. She's doing a show. She's performing.
And the breakup
Owen
happens
Wilson's
in the middle of this.
saying,
So, yeah.
will you marry me? And she's like, yes.
You,
I will.
Let's try something. Yeah.
I didn't even see the movie. I know this.
And I just wonder, do you think, I mean, and you're not even a regular guy. You work in the entertainment industry enough. You think you'd be able to date someone that is on the go and doing the stuff that like a J-Lo does in real life? Like, I have a flight to Paris in the morning, but I'll be back in a day. But then I have a concert at Staples Center. And then after that, I have a photo shoot with Gucci the next day. And then I'm going on a private jet here. Like, do I think yes. Do you think you can handle that?
Could it work? I don't know. Probably not. But do I think I could? Yes. Because I'm not a very jealous person or needy person in that way. You know, independent. Does she love me? Is she loyal? If the answer is yes to all those things, then yeah. Hey, do your thing. More power to you. I think that's great. I need you here every day.
I just wonder, is that the main reason?
It's like dating a trucker.
Is that you know what? Truckers are on the road a lot, you know? Yeah. But Spot, I ask, is that, of course it's for clout reasons. And as Covino always likes to say, what is it? What did True Lisa used to say? Your vibe equals, your fly matches their fly. It could just be because if you're a multimillionaire rich superstar, you might be attracted to other multimillionaire rich superstars. But I do wonder if, like, let's say a Jennifer Lopez.
Might not work, but I would be.
I mean, truthfully, J-Lo did it with that backup dancer Casper. Remember Kevin Federline was like a random nobody too with Britney Spears. Could the regular guy, let's say, who's like the hot single person now? Let's say if Kim Kardashian wasn't with Pete Davidson and she breaks up with Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian's at Trader Joe's, he's like, I don't know, let's say Spot's single. Me? Yeah, looking at the produce. Me?
Me? What do you mean?
Let's go get coffee.
Okay.
Could the regular guy...
Let me just call my wife and break up with her.
Could the regular guy or regular girl keep up with that celebrity life? Or is that the main reason why that's who they never date?
If you're willing to play the tambourine. Are you willing to let that person shine and do their thing without being up their ass, without being jealous, without being a needy little bitch, without being insecure? Are you secure enough in yourself to know that this person is going to take most of the shine? Like our pal Kevin Undergaro. By no means is Maria Menounos J-Lo, but he's her biggest supporter. He lives his whole life to make her career flow and make her life easier. And he's secure enough and he's cool enough and he's the man enough to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm still the guy. But she's the breadwinner. She's the superstar, and I'm going to treat her as such.
Yeah, but
are you willing to play the tambourine for that person, but still know that you're the man in that relationship?
It's play the tambourine and be the secondary person. However, you notice in a lot of these situations, whether it's the Baker and the Beauty or J-Lo and Owen Wilson marry me, the guy that's like the regular guy, there's a sense that he really can't ever stick up for himself.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because you're almost like walking on eggshells, like, oh, I don't want to upset the superstar.
Well, not even...
Where you might need another superstar to humble that person. Like, if Kim Kardashian's dating a guy that works at Trader Joe's, you don't think the Trader Joe... Like, how is he ever going to, like, not talk back to, but how is he ever going to have, like, an actual debate or a fight with someone? Because she could just, like... He'd probably just be worried about upsetting her.
Yeah, but if they view the relationship that way, then it's not a good relationship.
It's like the celebrity is seeking out some sense of normalcy, and the regular person is in awe of the glamour, and they meet halfway at some point, but eventually that it's going to start to move apart again.
Like Spot in this movie, Owen Wilson, who plays the regular guy. Wow, muchacho.
Wow.
Owen Wilson. At one point, it's like,
it's J-Lo.
Hey, you ever,
Wow.
hey, wow. You ever think,
Look at those
think
cheeks.
You think you have too many people doing things for you? And she's like, I'm like hustling and doing stuff all day. What do you mean? He's like, well, you have someone like, make your smoothie. You have someone get your this. You have someone lay your clothes. Like, have you ever called an Uber or cab? Like, you take a private plane. Have you ever like operated like a regular person? And she's like, oh, I guess I haven't. So it's like, I just wonder if a regular person could ever deal with that.
And for me, like, let's say we're dating J-Lo. It would be difficult to say, like, to plan anything because I'm assuming that she's used to a certain lifestyle. And I can't exactly be like, okay, let's go stay at the Holiday Inn Express on our way to Palm Springs. I assume she would her lifestyle demands a very high price that I couldn't afford. So unless I'm just saying you pay for everything or we slum it, I don't think we would see eye to eye on that.
Then you feel like, well, you would have to have confidence, Covino. If you're the man, knowing that
if you're a Stedman.
Yeah,
that's why.
If you're a guy that's not,
you don't think Stedman's smacking those cheeks?
I'm not saying the guy needs to be the breadwinner. But if the guy's got like an job and she's like a multimillionaire, I just feel like you're going to be battling for respect.
That's why a lot of superstars either end up with other superstars or like when they're done with superstars, they go on to billionaires. Because the billionaires can support their lifestyle.
Spot said it best. Spot said, why do you think Mariah Carey and some of the people like that end up with like old billionaires? Because who is Mariah? Is Mariah Carey going to date a regular guy? I just don't see how her ego, like she needs almost like.
That's why I said, can I do it? Yeah. But would it work? I don't know. Like it's because you're just too different at that point.
Like it does happen here and there. Like a Julia Roberts. Everyone was so shocked that she married like a cinematographer who really wasn't that popular. He was just like an average guy who happened to be in the business, but not a prominent guy. And she just kind of went and did her personal life, but she keeps her personal life personal.
Yeah.
Then you look at someone like George Clooney, who was dating models for a while, but when he settled down, he married this.
Yeah, but he didn't date he didn't date a low profile person.
Right. He dated this high profile person who matched his fly, but it wasn't in the public eye.
There was another movie like this that made my butthole itchy with how awkward it was. Seth Rogen dated like a famous female politician. Katherine Heigl?
No, it was with what's her name? Damn it. You threw me off by
Use your noggin. Let's see. It was Seth Rogen. He was the campaign manager for like a hot female politician.
Really hot South African.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron, thank you.
It was Charlize Theron.
You just like
because they're idiots.
Disengaged my brain. But yeah, Charlize Theron was a high profile person.
She was a politician. She
was running and then eventually was running for president. He was the mister.
He was like her stoner boyfriend and she was running for president.
Because I know what it was. She was his babysitter in high school.
Yeah.
When she was in high school and he was like a kid and then
they reunited
later on. And
Long
and hit
Shot
it
was the name of the movie,
Long
by the way. Long Shot. Thank you, Raymond. But listen.
So Rich, are you subscribing to Fly has to match Fly still?
I think it does. I think you need to. I don't think your lifestyles could vary that much. I mean, in the movies and TV shows, it may work, but I genuinely think.
Why does it work for the goose but not the gander? Like how many like random girls with just fat asses are with like ballers in the NBA and guys with yachts and
it's a dynamic, man.
Well, then how come the dynamic doesn't flip the other way?
Like Jason said, if you're really the man, your respect doesn't come from your paycheck. I agree with that statement.
Agree. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you have to look at it in reality. That's a great like I can respect myself. I know my value. I can offer something to this person as far as a relationship goes. But you still have to think about logistics.
Of course.
Like when a person is flying private jets everywhere,
when you're flying, when you're in the middle, when you're in the middle seat on Southwest Airlines and J-Lo's flying private jets.
Could I support J-Lo? I know we keep going back to her, but she was in the movie. Could I support J-Lo as a significant other? Yes, I could. But can I financially keep up with her? No.
I think what would happen, Spot, is
There's a
that
difference.
you, me, or anyone would end up becoming a cheerleader that walked on eggshells not to upset the queen. I think that's how that relationship works out. Unless you're such the man and you have such confidence, I think what happens in those dynamics where a woman is such a powerful superstar woman, if you're a regular dude, you've lost all your machismo angles if you're like regular doofus. No, I mean, come on.
I would never feel that way. I would feel as macho. I feel like fucking the macho king.
Then you're the man. Then
I would. It wouldn't change the dynamic at all.
It wouldn't change the dynamic of the relationship.
For me, but it might not
you're
work.
You're the guy that tries to show off hotel rooms to girls you date. You're gonna be okay with being like, when everything you could offer, let's say J-Lo, and you make a nice living and you're successful. You think there wouldn't be a part of you that's like,
but it wouldn't be me. It would be her. Like, and I'd be okay with that.
But I'm saying,
wait, where are we going? Aspen? Sweet.
Aspen.
But what
Sweet.
I'm saying
that doesn't mean I'm going to be any less like the man.
There's nothing that you could give her that she probably hasn't already done. So it takes a guy with confidence.
You're talking material things. I'm not. I don't base my confidence on that. I don't.
Well, all right. Well,
I don't. That's the truth. Like my ego works in mysterious ways, I guess, because mine's not affected in that way.
I think you could do it. I'm just saying, after a while, you'd be like, man, what could I really offer her?
You know what? I know what you're thinking of. What movie you're trying to think of? Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, yeah, when Jason Segel's with Kristen Bell, and she's like a famous actress.
Yeah, and remember, he's always off to the side holding the bag, and
like if you're okay with that,
get out of the way.
If you're okay with that, that's cool. But she may end up banging what's his name?
It's a weird insecurity to live by. Let's say Sarah was at the mall and someone was like, "Hey, you," and she became a big superstar. All of a sudden, the dynamic changes. Rich can't handle it.
No, I know what you're saying. Spot, can you pull the clip of Russell Brand? Inside of you. Such a good song. That's a great movie. By the way, I watched that movie last night. Marry Me with Sarah, my dad, and Nellie. What do you think? Would you give it would you say it's worth watching?
My concern with the movie is Owen Wilson and J-Lo they were locking lips. They were getting hot and heavy. My concern, I felt bad for Ben. Ben's got Ben Affleck.
I don't think Ben Affleck cares. I don't think Ben Affleck cares.
I don't think he cares.
What did you say halfway through the movie? I don't know if you had one too many drinks, but you're like, Owen Wilson's got feminine features.
He does. If you look at his eyes, he does. I love Owen Wilson, but if you look at him,
he's a little girly,
closely,
Richie.
He does have feminine features. He does.
He looks a little girly.
If it wasn't for that little twist in the nose, he'd be. He has that little unique nose action.
Yeah,
that nose is.
Yeah,
that nose is something.
Wow.
But
boy,
right, ready?
Oh,
if Jordan makes, let's say Jordan makes some sort of TikTok video that goes crazy viral. Next thing you know, she's a big internet smash. All of a sudden, the dynamic shifts, and I'm not the fucking cool guy anymore. Fuck out of here.
I get it.
Your ego's really fragile if that's how you view things. And I'm a guy with crazy ego, but I know that wouldn't change my dynamic within the relationship because she makes more money and she's popular.
Well, you're also
if anything, I'm attracted to that.
You're also bringing up Covino.
It might not work, Rich, but it wouldn't change how I feel about myself in that scenario.
But you know what? You just brought up. I don't want to be. I don't want to be the guy that's like, well, each case is different. But I do want to bring up something you just said, though.
It might be.
You said if Jordan or if someone you were with became a star.
Right. You're on the come up.
Understand that. Like if Kristen Bell was like, I'm dating some guy and he's a regular guy. And then while they're together, all of a sudden she becomes Elsa from Frozen. All of a sudden she becomes the Good Place and all these super big shows. I'm saying if you met Kim Kardashian Covino in the 2000s and you ended up with her, I would get that. And you're like, yo, I was with her on the come up. I'm saying pick the biggest international star now, and let's just say that movie came to life. That's a little more unrealistic.
Didn't like Hugh Jackman, wasn't he married to someone for a while? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know. Hugh Jackman. Talent.
Such a talent. Mega talent.
Hugh Jackman. All right. So there you go. Would you say it's worth watching?
So. You guys liked it more than I did. It was a little
cheesy.
Strange, the whole thing with the marry me and pick someone out and they get married immediately.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I think you like Love is Blind.
J-Lo made it worthwhile.
I think.
The cheeks.
So, by the way, Covino, I know you probably got stuff to get to, but I want to throw one more thing that's on my list here because we were driving down the neighborhood the other day and I saw a billboard and my dad's like, what is that? And I thought of you because it's such an issue out here in Los Angeles. There's now a law firm that specializes in dads that are getting fucked over. It's called Dadvocates.
No.
It was a billboard?
It was a billboard about like...
Was it the same lawyer that does Accidentes?
Accidentes.
No, but it was...
Was it called Jacob?
He looks like Fred Armisen. Accidentes.
Accidentes.
No, but it was a billboard. I actually took a picture of it because I was going to send it to you, but I was like, man, people always talk about how California more than any other place, dads get the short end of the stick with divorce and child support and alimony.
This guy.
The men's law firm, the Dadvocates. It's a company that specializes in making sure dads get the best deal they could out here in Los Angeles. And I'm
this guy. Accidentes guy.
Accidentes. There's your new lawyer.
Does he do
Accidentes.
Does he do Dadvocates? Same guy?
Oh, Dadvocates. I advocate for you because you are a dad.
Accidentes, call me now.
By the way, that's Juan Dominguez.
Juan Dominguez is everywhere.
Oh, wait, here's the poster.
Juan Dominguez. That's like he's my introduction to LA, that guy.
Accidentes.
Accidentes. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Accidentes.
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 Now I am fighting for the Dadvocates.
El mejor abogado. Best lawyer.
Who's the Dadvocate guy? Not that guy?
No, not that
Accidentes.
guy. But yeah, I wrote that down. That it's such a problem.
I don't know if it's a lawyer that's going to fix it. Like, laws need to be changed. Laws need to be changed. They're ridiculous. Especially as women become more successful and independent and equal, and they don't need anything from anybody, and they're making as much and more money than you. Like, why do you have to support their rock and roll lifestyle and their lifestyle with a new person in their life? Like, how is that fair to anybody? It's not. I need that guy. What's his name? Call now. Accidentes.
Oh, Dominguez.
I need Dominguez in my life.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, that's a big time issue, man. It's not fair for the dudes.
Advocates, marry me.
Or should I say the breadwinner? It's not fair for the breadwinner because people could work. People are capable of working.
Now, what else went on this weekend for you? Because I have a couple dumb things to point out, but
nothing. Let's get into the random news before we get into anything else. Make this show topical. The last day of February. February is over. March begins tomorrow. Tomorrow's our 1 year Patreon anniversary. Maybe we'll reminisce and look back a little bit. Can you believe it? I have a weird feeling about that because people are like, wow, 1 year. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like we've been doing this so long now. I can't believe it's only been 1 year.
What, without
I feel like it's
Sirius
been like
XM?
5 years. Yeah, I feel like it's been a long time. It was like a lot of ups and downs. So it made it feel like it was a long time ago to me. Like that's only been a year ago. We said goodbye as a show on SXM. So yeah, it's tomorrow. But in the news, just random stories. A lot of them I got from our pals at Barstool, to be honest. So shout out to KFC. Got to give credit and props where they're due. Although they're national stories, I liked his take on the stories. Like, remember that girl that gave you the eye back in the day, Annalyn McCord? Oh, yeah. She was in the news. I thought that was funny.
Annalyn McCord, there's three people that are getting shit.
Right.
I believe it's Annalyn McCord, Joy Behar, and John Cena. Three people that are getting...
John Cena's getting shit?
Three people that are getting shit for their, quote, tone-deaf Ukraine posts.
Well, Annalyn McCord was from 90210. She was on our show a bunch of times. I remember being at a party, and she was just on our show. And I remember she sort of like big timed us a little bit, like because she was super cool with us when we had these encounters. But when she was in VIP, we were there looking up like, hi. I remember she was just like, just gave us the like whatever to those guys. I liked them earlier today, not now. But I remember she did give Rich the eye. And the story was, which celebrity is going to make the story of Ukraine about them first?
Right.
And she was the first. That's all.
I am not sticking up for her. I think she just read an awkward poem. And it is so cringy, but I think it's embarrassing. I don't think it's like offensive. She read a poem
to Vladimir Putin.
To Putin
and
about
like being his mother.
Well, we all remember
something about a mother's love and how he needs to be more loving or something. I don't know.
Like if I were your mother,
yes,
I would have held you and hugged you and kissed you and told you how much I love you.
And every TikTok video I saw about it ended with Danzig's mother.
Well, we all remember
Mother.
Very early on in the pandemic, what was deemed as tone deaf rendition of all the celebrities doing Imagine by John Lennon. Remember Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Started it and like got all these celebrities to
Imagine there's no heaven.
I look at it this way.
sing all verses of it.
We haven't talked about Annalyn McCord since 2006. There was not a lot going on back then. And she just was the first person to make it about herself and be tone deaf in regards to the whole scenario.
I don't find it offensive. I find it embarrassing.
So, yeah.
Like she reads a poem like
She
heartfelt.
got some press out of it, I'll tell you
but
that.
I don't see where someone's like offensive. I think, like I said, it's just her being like, how embarrassing. She read a poem, she was all like sort of emotionally reading a poem directed at Vladimir Putin saying like I wish you would be more loving. And it's not about her. I think she just embarrassed herself.
So we could just skip right past that.
You want to play like a second of it?
You don't want to play it?
Yeah, play a little bit of it.
waiting.
Why? I mean, we were talking about it. People were like, yeah, what are you talking about?
You don't want to play it? Come on.
I sent you the clip.
Just super
waiting for it.
embarrassing. Yeah.
Was rushed to the internet to see which celebrity
Love
is
this
making
guy.
an
You love
ass
him.
out of themselves with narcissistic posts on Instagram and Twitter, making it all about them. And the winner for the Ukraine-Russian war is Annalyn McCord. You might remember her from a million years back on Nip Tuck,
A
or
million
she was in
years
the reboot
back.
of 90210, but it doesn't matter because the most memorable piece of content she's ever made is this video right here, where she wrote and performed a poem for Vladimir Putin, apologizing, saying she wishes she was his mother because then maybe this war wouldn't have happened. There are two types of people when shit like this goes down. There are the people who put their phone away and say, you know what?
Hold on. Talk.
Get the real version.
Yeah.
Why would you give us KFC thing?
Can you stop sending
Because
me?
I liked his take of it.
Yeah, but
I mean, he does get to it.
we present the
Hey,
take.
you know what you could do?
Give me
You could have queued it up and got it yourself.
Well, you
That's the
sent
one
me-
I like.
but you sent
so
me
I'm
the-
sorry I
you
didn't
sent me
provide
the-
the one you liked. That's the
I
one I
mean-
liked. Joy Behar, find the real clip because I like KFC's take on it. She's also in the news. Rich, I know you hate her and we've declared war on Joy Behar, but in a nutshell, she went on a rant saying like this is the whole Ukraine-Russia situation is going to really interfere with her trip to Italy.
She wanted to go to Italy.
Right.
First, COVID messed it up.
I sent
And
you
now
again. I sent you a
Ukraine?
Barstool clip, so find another one.
Hang on.
Dear President Vladimir Putin,
She looks good.
I'm so sorry that I was not
Lighting.
your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So
awkward.
So much laughter
All right, I've
and
heard
joy.
enough.
and
Yeah,
nothing
it's
would
but
harm
like
our
her.
I've heard enough.
It's like eye rolling to the. It's so eye rolly, but I don't think it's about. I don't think she's making it about her. I think it's just embarrassing. The end.
Joy Behar made it about her. Joy Behar, talk about tone deaf, was again more focused on like, how am I going to get to Italy?
If this Ukraine thing messes up my trip to Italy, I'm going to be bummed.
Come here, oh, you got so big. Look at your hair. Fuck out of here. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Joy Behar can't go on The View and say that her luxurious trip to Italy might be postponed again because of Ukraine.
All right, we don't need the clip.
And then the John Cena one.
We're talking about 5 million people that are going to be displaced. I mean, it's heartbreaking to hear what is going to happen.
Well, I'm scared of what's going to happen in Western Europe, too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic. And now this, you know, it's like, what's going to happen there?
Her tour of Rome and Florence, and she can't see the Covino family frozen with their hair in Pompeii.
Oh, come here. You're wearing glasses now. Nice hair. Fuck out of here. Come on now. And now I'm on the hate train of this lady. Get the hook. Get her out of here.
I know.
She's senile. She's what's she talking about? Get her out of here.
Sonny is going through this whole I feel for the Ukrainian people. They're suffering and all this.
Yeah, my trip to LA.
Oh my God, bro. And now, you know, everything she says is being dissected and she's being picked apart. She's gonna be off the show soon.
Nah.
Mark my words.
I mean, they gave Whoopi a slap on the wrist for what she did.
She's ridiculous. So
John Cena.
John Cena thing?
Oh, did he speak in Russian again? Remember when he spoke? Remember what was it?
He spoke in Taiwanese.
He spoke
Mandarin.
in Mandarin.
To apologize.
To apologize.
Sudanese. He was speaking Sudanese.
That was it.
Spot. Look up John Cena's tweet. I have it right here. I'll just read it. But John Cena tweeted, and people said he was using the conflict in Ukraine and Russia to promote his HBO show Peacemaker.
It's a great show.
Because he wrote, quote, if I could somehow summon the powers of a real life #Peacemaker, I think now would be a great time to do so. I don't think it's like terribly tone deaf. He just
got mad at him for that.
Because people said by hashtagging Peacemaker, he was like, my show.
Nah, get that fuck out of here. Now you're just bothering John Cena for no reason.
I'm not bothering John Cena. It's everywhere. People saying John Cena.
I'm saying.
I mean, it is a bit like
John Cena facing backlash over Peacemaker tweet about himself.
it is a bit self-serving. I mean, it's by definition self-serving.
If I could somewhat summon the powers of a real life #Peacemaker, I think this would be a great time to do so. His character's name is Peacemaker, and you want
best
peace.
tweet, but
I mean, he makes a point. He wants to make peace. No more war.
I agree with Kyle. Anna Lynn McCord does look great, but if I ever dated a woman that started doing poetry like that, I don't care how good looking she is. I'd be like, whoa.
Hot tip for all you people. Covino knows it. Rich knows it. I know it. Sit in front of a window. It's the best lighting. Not direct sunlight, but in front of a window during the day will illuminate you so well. That's what she's doing.
It's the golden afternoon, bro.
It really is.
It's the golden hour, bro. It's the power
John
hour.
Cena since addressed this? Hold on. I think he might have.
Did he?
John Cena.
I think I saw him on Food That Built America. He plays the croc guy who started McDonald's.
I mean, he tweeted a few more tweets.
One person got the reference. I was watching History Channel. There's a guy who looked like John Cena on there last night.
Are they, I mean, I don't know if he did a video or anything.
Just more.
but
No, nothing really.
Just more tweets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
in
Mark
other
saying,
random
like
news-
Mark saying, Cena probably shouldn't be promoting his show talking about a war.
When's he going
Yeah,
to
I
put
get it.
When's
Is he
he gonna,
promoting it? I don't know.
When's he going to put an avatar up?
I get it,
Please.
but it's just not as bad. I get it. You know, it wasn't the best look, but it wasn't like John Cena's the worst look.
You can't even put a picture of himself in that little circle?
It's not the worst.
You can't see him sweat.
In other rando news of the day, February 28th, Monday, Covino and Rich. There's a security firm called Lookout who published the top 20 most commonly used passwords according to the dark web or whatever.
God.
Which I've never been a part of. I've never even had the urge or inkling or thought to see what else is out there.
You're not curious? I'm so curious.
It sounds gross to me. The web already is gross to me.
Yeah, I think I think the regular internet's dirty enough. I don't need the dark web. I feel like the dark web is just a place where people like buy like guns and hookers or something.
I'm more curious than Rich in the early 2000s. I just want to see it. Like, I want to know what's going on. I'm just curious. It's morbid curiosity.
Gross people. So my question to
wanna,
you,
like,
Rich, based
do
on this
anything
random
with it.
story is, do you want to hear the saddest countdown of the passwords?
Yeah. Can I guess what they are, though?
Coming in at number 20.
Yeah, they pretty much don't use password as your password.
Do you want just the top 5?
Top 5. I guarantee it's password 1, 2, 3.
Number 20, though, of the most commonly used ones. Interesting.
Did you send me
66666?
Devil people.
Yeah, like what a fucking creepazoid you
Speaking
are.
of 666, Dave Grohl's documentary movie's out, right?
Yeah.
Studio 666.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I'm hearing decent reviews.
All right, let's hear
Number
them.
19 is I love you.
Okay.
All right, so the top 5 most commonly used passwords according to the dark web. Look out.
What's the source?
Might want to change it. The source? I don't know, it's just an article I saw.
I'm just curious. Bring it up. I'll pull it up.
I don't know, man. Google it. I don't have it. I'm reading it to you. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to change that one. Number 4. Capital P, ass word. Mine's just ass word, capital A-S-S.
Ass word.
Ass word.
Ass word.
Oh, damn, now everybody knows my password.
I know, now you thought of it.
Capital
You're like,
A,
man.
capital S, capital S.
Ass word.
Ass word.
Damn it. I'll give you save the P for later.
Ass word.
Number 3 is QWERTY.
Oh, yeah.
QWERTY.
Which is the
Just people
Capital
going
Q.
across the keyboard.
Yep.
bloop.
Number 2
Bloop.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10, 11, 12.
No, 9.
Just 9.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And the number 1 most frequently used password, according to Lookout, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The same combination on my luggage.
So we're really predictable. And whatever that password is, you probably just added an exclamation point to it or something.
You know what? Here's
So
what you
people
should do.
can easily figure this shit out.
Just use a different just use a different punctuation other than the exclamation point if you need to add a character, because that's what everyone would use.
Mine is assword69.
Assword $.
Yeah, I can't.
$.
Like I feel like everything you sign up for requires you to be like, oh, you need one special character, one capital, one number.
The biggest problem is like,
what
does this password require? Because like if I forget, I don't know. Well, what does it require? Do I have a symbol in this one? I don't know. I wish they were like consistent with the requirements, because I never know.
Right, because I have a password, right? And it's generally the same thing, just so I don't get confused. But then I have to adapt it based on this. Then I have to
based on the requirements.
Now I need to know when I go to this website, I added a $.
Sarah and I discussed
this
that recently.
website, I added a @ symbol.
Sarah and I discussed that recently. Should your password be the same for everything? I was like, I don't think it should, because then like that's like that you can get into everything. She's like, yeah, but don't you have the same password for a lot of things? That way, like, oh, my Spectrum account, you know what the password is, because if you have an account,
so you got to be creative.
Like
criminals are one step ahead, man. I'm mad. So I used to be Fartboy69, but now I'm just Artboy with an F. Artboy F. Like Artboy F.
Artboy. The only thing that I refuse to do. Like I'll use a very common, not a common password, but I mean a password for multiple things. The only thing I refuse to do is write that password down, because I think once you put it on a document, in an email, on a paper, in a text, it is available, and I refuse to do that.
See, I think of password, I think of assword.
You said
my
you keep
assword
a
is
master
cheeks,
list.
so my password is cheese. With 8 E's.
Oh,
8 E's. Capital C.
Well,
and
makes
then
sense.
exclamation point. Because what's my password? My password is the assword. And my password is
password?
cheeks.
Makes sense.
Password. That's how I remember, bro. So that's why I don't write it down. I just remember it.
Cheese.
In other news, and the point there is, we're all so predictable, and criminals are way smarter than we are when it comes to that shit. So if your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's the number one most used password. Change that shit. Courtesy of Page 6 and Chris Cuddy. What's up, Chris Cuddy? The Tinder swindler.
Oh, that guy.
Simon Lviv.
Tinder swindler.
Apparently is charging $20,000 a night for nightclub appearances.
Shut the fuck up.
How gross is that?
I like it. He's capitalizing. Let him.
Really?
People are going to pay for it.
Gross.
You can't get mad at someone for capitalizing. If he's a piece of shit and people still want to work with him.
The public are even worse to offer this piece of shit anything.
That's what it tells you. It tells you.
We're the grossest people.
We've been places, Covino, where we saw the Paris Hiltons of the world walk in for a minute, say hello, and get like 20 grand to say hello to a crowd. He's hot in the moment. It was a big time documentary. People were intrigued, and he's going to make his minute count. Make his minute count.
Oh,
he's a schemester. Why would he not make his minute count? If he could scam women out of money, he could scam a club out of a $10,000. How do you do?
20 G's.
20 G's to say hello.
He just received the ultimate blow. Someone he dated in 2012 revealed that he failed to con her because he had no idea what he was doing in the bedroom. Dang, son.
But I know my diamonds.
Man, you ain't got no dick.
Damn.
So his weak bedroom game left her unable to be convinced. Like, if he was throwing it down the bedroom, she probably would have been like, I'll take a loan out for you.
So now his name is the Tinner Swindler.
Because he has no D.
Yeah, the Tinner Swindler.
Tinner Swindler.
I mean, look at remember the Island Boys that were a flash in the pan for a moment? They got club appearances, got booed, but they still got money.
True.
I'll go stand on a stage and get booed for $20K.
In other rando news, just to wrap it up, I don't know what this story is or where it's from, but Joe Rogan posted it yesterday and it sort of went viral, and I've seen it multiple times, and it's your boy Steven Seagal, like, in Russia. Is there? I even went to CNN's page to see if I could find it, and I don't see it. But if Rogan was posting it, I'm sure there's something to it that I'm not following. But it says intelligence, and Joe Rogan's reposting CNN. Intelligence agencies around the world have spotted American actor Steven Seagal among Russian special forces positioned around the outskirts of, how do you say, Gostomel?
Oh, it was a joke.
Airfield near Kiev, captured by Russian airborne troops. I assume it's a joke, but
the fact that it's making the rounds, you know, your like mom is going to be like, Steven Seagal's in Russia. Like, yeah, it's going to trick someone.
There is no evidence that claims about Steven Seagal's participation in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Is
Joke or
grounded in
not,
fact.
when you got the Klitschko's, and it makes sense because they're from Ukraine, and Lomachenko's and things like that. If he had some weird involvement, I wouldn't be surprised because, the thing was, Joe Rogan made some weird point of like, he insinuated that it was real. Like, this is craziness. At least that's how I interpreted it. I thought it was a joke. I don't know, but it's out there. Oh, Joe Rogan deleted it because it was fake.
It was fake, yeah.
Oh, so he was fooled. Because like I said, he made reference to
Mr. Seagal.
Something about, this story gets even crazier.
Steven Seagal, or is this a
How can you have so carelessly reposted that?
Honestly, I'm going to show you a photo. He looks like a villain from a 60s karate movie.
Yeah, but would you repost something like that? And you're probably thinking, how would I go here and talk about it?
That's what
I
he looks
told
like,
you,
though.
I went to CNN and I didn't see anything of it, but I assumed like Joe Rogan had a reason to post that, and other people, because he has such a strong audience, they obviously were posting it as well. And I'm like, I'll bring it up.
Do you now see the danger of that?
Yeah, and I think Joe Rogan's at fault for this. How do you repost something like that?
Steven Seagal spoke out. He said, most of us have friends and family in Russia and Ukraine. I look at both as one family and really believe as an outside entity spending huge sums of money on propaganda to provoke the two countries to be at odds with each other. So he thinks it's a big conspiracy. But he is friends with Putin and the Belarusian. Is it Russian or Russian? Belarusian.
Russian. But anyway,
Belarusian
here in my notes, Rando News, Seagal, real or not? I guess,
fake.
It's fake. But it was being presented as real. And that's honestly, sort of careless of Joe Rogan. I would never.
You crazy, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, you crazy. Because again, I guess that's the problem, right? He has such a big audience. If he's not accurate, you see what happens? Wow, interesting. Okay.
Joy Behar, her Italy plans.
Et voila.
Oh, by the way, and congratulations to Eric Medeiros, one of our listeners, became a dad.
Yay!
That's good news.
Way to go, Eric.
Congratulations,
You've
Eric.
done it.
He became a dad. Wish you the best. Congratulations from CNR and Spot.
You're a dad.
Now, that's the random news of the day.
Papa.
I've had this story in my back pocket for a minute.
Man, it must smell. Must be warm.
It's been stuffed in my pocket for the last 100 days.
Must be all crinkled and like steamy. A little discolored.
So it's like that old piece of gum that was there. You're like, oh shit, look how flattened out it is. Could I eat it? Yeah, might as well. So I've had the story. I was at the mall with Melody, and she's at that age where I could tell she's embarrassed of me. And I'm like, me? Lucky Rich isn't your dad. Someone lame like that. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
Or a guy wearing fucking earrings.
I didn't mean that. I meant lucky stepdad Gary's not your dad. You got a cool dad.
Wow.
Nice earrings, Dad.
I don't wear my earrings with her, only on Thursdays. So this had to be a Saturday. I don't have Melody on Thursdays. I haven't seen Melody on a Thursday in a long time. Unless it was like a holiday break. So Thursdays, Wednesdays, I don't see her that often. So if I'm at the mall, it has to be a Saturday, right? Saturday or Sunday. I'm at the mall with Melody, and she's at that age where even I notice it. Kids her age are at the mall together. They're kids that look her age and dress like her. They're all there, like running around. So she's there with her dad. And I give her credit because she gives me more time than I probably gave my mom as a 12-year-old boy. Right? Like at 12 years old, I want to hang fucking
I have a
my
legit
parents.
I have a legit question for you. I'm not even joking. Have you had the discussion of like, what if she just doesn't feel like hanging? Meaning, when my parents were divorced, there were weekends where
she just
my dad was supposed to have my brother and sister.
Yeah.
I was like a teenager, so I was like, yeah, sorry, Dad, I'll catch you next time. I'm going out with like my girlfriend or something. But what if Melody was like, yeah, Dad, I'm supposed to be with you this weekend, but like, yeah, I was gonna go to the mall with my friends, and like, I don't feel like seeing you this weekend. Like,
she's not at that stage yet.
That's coming though.
Yeah, I mean, cross that bridge when you get to it.
Yeah.
The only downside is what? So now I got to pay you more because she wants to go to the mall. I don't understand how that works.
Why pay you more?
Like child support.
Why would you?
Because that would be my time. So if she's not spending her time with me, That means I
think
give
you're
her mom
actually
more
nickel
money.
and dime you on that?
You fucking joking me?
Serious?
Planning
You really
from.
need to ask that question?
It's not even nickel and diming. It's
You
what she'd
really
be
need to ask that question?
legally owed. And
Yeah, but that's Melody's choice. Like if Melody's like, hey, it's
but
the
if
weekend.
Melody's choice has her staying at her mom's more, then yeah, that's more time with her mom. You think that it would just be okay?
Yeah, but that would be
You
Melody's
think you would-
choice.
in a perfect
wait,
world.
you think she's going to watch her own kid for free?
That's not fair and it's not nice. I'm saying it wouldn't work.
No,
that
but what
way.
I'm saying is, I don't,
'Cause
that's
legally,
not,
it's not even.
I don't think
the way it works.
I don't think child support changes when kids have an option. I'm
Yeah,
saying like when
that-
your kids
that's
when your
until
kids
they're 18.
No, when your kid's 8.
Yeah.
And or 5. Or let's say your kid's Emmy's age. You have a 4-year-old, 5-year-old little kid. Someone has to watch them. Someone has to make sure they eat, make sure they don't choke, make sure they don't jump in the pool, make sure they don't run away. Like you need to make sure of these things. When a kid is 12, 13, 14, 15, they might just say, yeah, I woke up this weekend. I'm in a mood, and sorry, like Dad, I know you wanted to go to like Chick-fil-A in the mall, but I'm just gonna like lay in my room all day and like play on my iPad.
Okay, so if she just wants to stay with her mom,
Stay in her
then,
room
right?
and
hold on.
Yeah,
you think that
let's get the
everyone's
let's
just-
get the
you
advocates
think
on the line.
everyone-
I gotta call the
Yeah,
advocates.
you think everyone's just gonna be okay? Like, oh, so wait, I get a free weekend and everyone's okay with that, and I don't have to pay? Then what do I give a shit? That's not how it works.
But Melody's not gonna be a pawn in a divorce settlement, is what I'm saying.
Are you fucking joking me, dude? Like you think like everything's
Hello, I'm on
Rich
the
puts
line.
the honky and honky dory.
The advocates are here. Do you need me? Hello.
My parents didn't get along after their divorce, but what I'm saying is,
So,
if
all right.
Melody's 12, hanging around you is fun because you're a cool dad. But if she, let's say in a year from now, no, Spot, stay here.
Nope.
Where you going?
Gotta go to the bathroom.
In a year from now, if Melody's like, yeah, Dad, like, what if it was even like girly shit? And she's like, Dad, I have like cramps and I just want to like lay around all weekend and do nothing. Yeah, Melody, but it's like your dad's weekend. Yeah, but Dad, truthfully, I'm just gonna like lay around and like read a book and play on my iPad and watch. I don't want to like I'm like not feeling it. You think your ex is gonna be like, well, she's with me, so extra money.
You think she'd just be like okay with that?
Like,
so she had her back-to-back weekends. Then I would probably end up somehow be like, well, you get her now 2 weekends in a row because she missed your weekend.
I think you're wrong on this one.
Okay.
I mean, I hope
you could think all you want. I know it wouldn't fly that way. And you think the law is just okay with all of a sudden she's just spending all this time with her mom and I just have to pay the same amount? The law is it wouldn't even be okay. If Melody said, you know what, for the month of March, I just don't want to see Dad, and it becomes a pattern, then yeah, I'm going to have to pay. Any dad would pay the amount of time that they don't have their kid or any breadwinner, right? So in other words, I have Melody, let's say 40% of the time. So I'm paying my ex like 60% in child support because I have her 40% of the time. If I have her 20% of the time, then the law is going to require you to pay for 80% of the time that the other person is taking up. So all these days you're talking about, that means money or like make up the time. And I know it sounds like that's your kid who cares, but that's not how things work, unfortunately.
But that's her kid who just wants to chill at home.
Yeah, but you're speaking logic. Like, and I'm telling you, that's not how it works.
I'm just saying there were times where, let's say, my brother and sister.
Yeah, but that shit don't fly, bro. Because even when Jordan talks about these things, she's like, when you talk about the numbers, right? Like most dads, when you hear of these old school stories, they were paying their fucking wife $100 a month for child support. I pay thousands. You think everyone's just gonna be okay with it? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but
you guys,
I'm just saying,
fantasy land you come from.
I'm saying when I was a teenager, right?
No, but when I was dad was probably giving your mom like 100 here, 100 there.
No, they had a child support settlement.
I get it, but it was probably
but
peanuts.
But when
You
I was
make
when I was
money.
a teenager though, and I was like, yeah, I'm 14. I have a dad. I have
You're
a
in fantasy land, bro.
All right,
you are. You're in fantasy land. I don't know what to tell you. Get the advocates on the line. You're in fantasy land. So that's a bridge I have to cross eventually someday. I don't know how that's going to work. But luckily, my point was, Melody's a pretty good sport.
Eric,
she likes getting away, and you can see that. She needs a break from her mom, and then just when she had enough of dad, she needs a break from dad. She's cool with going.
Right. I'm
so
just
it
saying,
works right now, but I could definitely see this being an issue.
Eric
in
is
the future.
saying, Eric's an attorney. He said if he'd be your attorney if he lived in California, but he says no way do you pay more for something like that. But
if it becomes a habit, 100% it would. If Melody said, you know what, Dad, this back and forth stuff, it's ruining my personal life. I can't do it anymore. and it became a permanent thing, it wouldn't be like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to continue paying the same. But no, it's not.
But I'm just saying,
I'm going to have to pay her more. So what are you talking about? That's how it works.
Okay.
That's the fact. You could be like, well, you could speculate all you want.
So you think there's going to be
You
think there's going to be a sliding scale?
There is. There's a sliding scale on everything. It's time with. That's how it works.
All right. If your daughter,
if she's with me more,
your
guess
daughter,
what? I pay less.
But if your daughter's a teenager and she's like, I'm supposed to be with dad
That's
this weekend,
the
but
law
I have
until she's 18.
All right. If Melody's like, it's dad's weekend, but I'm going on a hike with my friends, and it's Jessica's birthday party, and honestly, I want to just chill out and do my own thing this weekend.
It's just a one-off weekend? You're saying that's just a one-off weekend?
But it'll happen occasionally because if you have her every other weekend, I tell you.
Yeah, no, you would think no big deal, and it is no big deal.
What if she has her
right?
when she has her?
When you're in this type of relationship, I'll end up having to make up that weekend.
You think when she has her first high school boyfriend, she's going to want to spend her weekends with you?
Hey, bro, legally, it's till she's 18. You think she's going to want to spend it with her mom? The truth is, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Melody's going to probably want to spend most of her time with me as she gets older. That's what I think. But I don't know that.
I hear you. I'm just saying, I think
now,
that
I think she likes getting away from that scene, and then she likes hanging out with me, and then she's had enough of dad because dad's a lot to deal with. So I think she kind of digs the escape here and there, doing her own thing, but I think she also wants the feeling of home, and eventually, that might be her mom's, and she might want to be there more, and I'm cool with that too, because she's gonna get older and not want to do that. I'm totally accepting of that. But don't think that it's going to be, well, I guess I'm going to pay the same amount. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all, especially when we're talking thousands of dollars. Especially if I'm making more money, too. You think everyone's going to be okay? Well, I guess she's spending more time here. You could continue paying me what you're paying me now. Fuck out of here. Where? In Fantasyville? No. It's not where I live.
Eric hit us up just saying, may depend on the state. In PA, these adjustments when a kid's a teenager, you're not adjusting child support monthly, or it doesn't get adjusted. If your teenage kid wants to stay with the primary parent because they just want to hang.
If the mother files a motion to say, this needs to be adjusted. Whoever.
Okay, I'm not fighting with you, but I'm just saying.
It's fact. If I'm going from, let's make the math simple.
You'd have to go to court. You would have to go to court.
If we're going 50-50, right? And I'm paying X amount, but it's 50-50. And all of a sudden it's 80-20. You think I'm still paying according to 50-50? No, I'll be paying 80%.
Okay. I think
because that's how the law works. You think that someone who
you've
doesn't
never been
really
there,
like me is going to let me slide?
You've never been
for
there
30%.
You've never been there, and you're on your way there. But what I'm saying is, there's a way big difference of
someone's going to let me slide. Answer that question. You think someone's going to let me slide thousands of dollars for 30%? What an idiot you are to think that.
I don't.
The law doesn't even allow that. Okay. So you know that I'm not doing anything. That's what I'm entitled to. That's what the comment would be.
Fair. I'm just saying that you haven't seen it yet because your daughter's been younger, and what childcare means for all right, Ben is 2, Emmy is 4. I see my nieces and nephews who are 9, 8, and 10, and your daughter's 12. As kids change and hit different stages and ages, what's required to take care of them and time spent is way different. Melody could.
You guys are fools. The feedback and your point. Your feedback and your point. Foolish. I had to
there were weekends.
almost $10,000 for a lawyer because I lost money when I lost money for SiriusXM and ESPN. I had to adjust my payments because I'm not making that much money anymore. I had to get lawyers for that. You think if I'm not spending 40% as much time with my kid, I wouldn't have to make that adjustment?
What if it's Melody's idea? What if Melody just says...
You're out of your mind.
If Melody just says, if Melody said...
Fool's talk.
If Melody just said...
Fool's talk.
Okay, fine.
It is.
So if your daughter said, Mom, I'm not really. I'm a little under the weather this weekend. I have cramps, and I'm going out with the girls later. No. I'm doing this.
One-off thing.
I'm not going to go to Dad's this weekend.
Yeah.
You think she'd be like, "Well, you can't stay in your room. You have to go to Dad's."
No, I think that No, that's fine. That's because that's a one-off thing.
But what if that happens more and more often? Because I remember there were times.
If it becomes a pattern,
okay.
I'm going to answer your question. If it's a one-off thing, it probably be suggested that I make up that weekend when it's convenient for someone else. Meaning, I'm going to Paris this weekend. Remember that weekend she stayed home because she was sick? How about you double up your weekends? That would be one solution.
I think Rich is.
If it became a permanent pattern, it comes out of the pocket.
John's an idiot. He's chiming in.
I think Rich's disconnect here is, I see it. I see your point, and I understand. You're absolutely.
Or he's
100%.
playing dumb.
No.
Not
So
you're
you're
right,
100%
'cause I
right.
saw it.
I think Rich sees it as, why can't she just why do you have to play with the money if she just wants to spend time with her mother, or she just wants to spend more time with you?
Is it a one-off thing? Then that's fine.
No, but it's it shouldn't be a nickel and dime situation because you're both the parents of this kid. But when you're dealing with someone who's a little bit difficult,
and
then it becomes a little bit
money.
more nickel and dimed.
Of course, but it's not nickels and dimes. It's hundreds and thousands.
Well, I think
my point is hundreds and thousands.
In my
not
mind,
nickel and dime. When you're being nickel and dimed, it doesn't matter.
In my mind, it's it's my child. I would want to see them as much as possible.
I think what's going to happen to you
not when it's 80-20, bro.
I think
if we get a big Fox Sports radio deal and all of a sudden she's 80% of the time there and only 20%, you think everyone's just giving me high fives and don't expect money out of it?
I think my point is just that you're about to enter a world that I don't know what it's like to have a kid that age, because you have a daughter that's that age. I do not, but I lived it when I had parents that were divorced, and as kids get older, they're not as influenced as all right, you're gonna go with your dad, you're gonna go with your mom. What I have a question. Yeah. I have a question just to bring it up. What if Melody goes, but let's say Layla disciplines Melody, right? Mm-hmm. And Melody goes, and this will happen. I fucking hate you, Mom. I hate you. I'm living with Dad.
This happens now.
Hold on. So if Melody straight up lives with you for a month, because you'd welcome her, she's your daughter. So does that mean for that month you're going to go to the court and be like, well, she lived with me for a month. Are you going to live with this hassle?
I am not petty like that.
Okay.
And I don't want anyone's money, and I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not the guy getting child support.
That's what your sister even asked, Dawn Covino.
But I'm not
so
getting
child support.
support.
If Melody wants to spend more
no
time with you,
paying me,
your sister's
right?
asking.
Yeah.
Your sister
if it became a permanent thing, then yes, I would file a motion to the court and say, if it became permanent, like she's living with me now. Well, if she's living with me, then I'm not giving you 50%. Because she's not with you 50%. If she's with you 10%, then yeah, I want to pay you accordingly 10% if it's permanent. Yeah. If it's a permanent scenario, yeah. No one's going to just not make the adjustment.
If there's ever been a reason to
if
keep subscribing, you'll see how this all unfolds over the next couple of years.
But these things happen now, bro.
No, but I'm saying I could promise you, because it happens with people that aren't hot-tempered.
I'm dealing with this next week. All right, ready? Next week. Melody has a birthday party to go to on Saturday, but it's someone that's friends with my ex. So she wants to take her. But next weekend's my weekend.
Yeah.
Are you following?
Yeah.
Next weekend's my weekend.
Yeah.
But Melody has a birthday party to go to.
With someone that's friends with Layla.
With someone that's friends with Layla.
So reasonably, you'd say, you go take her.
So she is taking her. But that's not the end of the story.
No.
So that means I'm going to keep her an extra day and a half next week.
Because you want to, or because it's like you're counting days? Or she's counting days?
I'm not counting shit.
Okay, that's fair.
But you act like there's only one person in your relationship.
Yeah.
There's two people. And then there's other people and other relationships. They have their family thing going on, and, it's a convoluted scenario. So,
Dadvocates.
But it's all balance, too, though. It's all balance.
Dan Grosser Road. Is that his name?
Dadvocates.
Accidentes.
Is a buffoon, because Rich, I think
Rich plays dumb because he wants me to disparage people.
I am 100%.
Rich plays dumb because he wants to hear the shitty truth come out of my mouth. He knows damn well that I would be.
But this guy
hit up for money, but he just wants me to express this.
This guy Dan is a dope because I went through this.
No,
my dad is in the next room, and there became a point where
it's not the kind of money that we're talking.
I know, but it's
anytime I hear these stories, it's like,
all right, I'm just saying,
no one's gonna fight over fucking $20-$30.
Teenagers don't have they're not bossed around by their parents. Like, you have to go with this parent. They start making their own decisions.
Happen more and more.
And like I said to you this from day one when you got divorced. I said the way the the temper and the temperament of you, your daughter, and your ex, I can promise you there'll be times where your daughter is like, Dad, I want to live with you. I can promise you that. Yeah. Just based on budding personalities and headbutt, you know, like
we were talking about that shit this weekend.
Yeah, and I was like,
I shouldn't have to decide those. I would never want to decide those things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So it's not. I just don't know. Accidentes.
Rely on this guy.
It just bemuffles me, like how you know that no one is really willing to make life easy in these scenarios. Yet you play dumb like, really? They would want more money? Please do tell. And don't think I don't see through that shit, because I do.
I just think
like for anyone to play dumb, like
you're thinking too
really?
rational.
You really think they would do that? Get out of here, bro.
When I say do I really think they would do that, I say it more in the sense of like
anyone would, because that's what they're legally
like all right, if you're
and
like,
that's
listen,
why the system sucks.
If you're like, hey, I'm going out of town for a couple weeks, I could see your ex being like, yo, listen, so wait, like you're leaving me with no child, with no help for the next couple weeks. That's one thing. I'm just saying, to wrap this up, if your kid becomes a teenager and is like, hey, I'm doing this, Dad, I have my own plans, I'm doing my own thing. Let's say there were weeks where my siblings and I didn't even see my dad because it was like we were busy with our friends or little league games or this or that, and it was like, all right, we'll see when we see you.
Yeah, so
I guess it's a different time and place.
Picked up the slack. So what did your dad owe your mom?
No extra, because it was just a different time.
Legally, he did. But we're talking nickels and dimes. When you're talking about me, Daddy fucking stacks over here, it's not nickels and dimes. So people want what they're entitled to. And that's what the law says. So it's the law that's the issue here. I didn't try to, come here and call people out. It's the law, and it's weak. Wax sauce. So that's how it works. Now, back to my story, which had nothing to do with this. I'm at the mall, and like I said, I could see how my daughter views other kids there. They're having fun with other kids and, pre-teening it up at the mall.
I forgot you had a story.
And
pre-teening it up.
She's there with her dad. So for as many times as she is like, nah, Dad, I don't feel like going for a hike with you because I'm a 12-year-old kid and I don't feel like hanging out with my dad all day.
It's okay.
I get it, because she's still willing to do those things way more often than I probably would have been doing those things at her age, right? And kids are way more advanced now. So we're at the mall, and here's Dad with his fucking saggy Lululemon nuts at the mall while she's looking at all these other kids hanging out together. Dad, when can I go to the mall with my friends? You're with your dad. Let's have fun. One of these little fucking punks came up to me.
Oh, what's his name?
What? I don't know, some little punk.
Nice earrings, old guy.
Came up to me at the mall.
One of those Lululemons?
Which is probably nightmarish for Melody, right? Because she's like, oh no, what's Dad gonna do? And I'm kind of bold and talkative to people, and I notice it more when I'm in Melody's presence, because she's probably like, Dad, please continue walking. This kid stops me. He's like, hey, what's going on, mister?
His name's probably Swanson.
And I'm like, what's up? And I don't want my kid to feel like embarrassed of her dad or anything. So I'm just like, what's up?
My name's Swanson.
And he's holding up the sign. He's like, my friend's missing. And he's holding back laughter. You could tell he's just being a Weisenheimer. So I got this kid being a little wise ass to me while I'm with my daughter. And he's like, typical little weenie, right? Probably about 14 years old, 15.
Playing a prank that his friend's missing.
My friend's missing. Have you seen him? And he shows me like his fat, like Hispanic friend, like eating a taco or something. Like just a stupid picture of his friend. And like, I know he's joking. I know I'm not falling. I'm like, yeah, that's your friend, huh? And Melody's like, come on, Dad, let's go. And I'm like, well, you think this is funny? But I'm not like being tough with the kid. I'm just trying to figure out the joke. Right? Like
no one ribs Steve Covino.
Oh, yeah, I'm not playing along.
This kid learned the hard way.
I'm not playing along. I'm like,
Melody, Daddy, don't play.
Yeah, I'm like,
Steve Covino is no one's monkey. He does not play along.
I'm like, wait, so this is your friend? And that's bullshit. That's who is this kid? Who is this kid? This is funny. And they're like,
he likes tacos
because they're showing me their fat friend Pablo eating a taco or something, right?
It looks like you.
And it says missing. Like my friend missing. What do you think? Have you seen this kid? And like, there's really no point to the story, but I do have like a question to ask. Like, I didn't want to embarrass Melody. I didn't want to play along with these idiots. I really kind of want to know what you're trying to punk the wrong guy. Get out of here before I smack you.
What was
Come here, get the fuck out of here.
What was the joke though?
I don't know. I'm like, is there a camera on me? Are you guys trying to like get have me be concerned? Like, oh yeah, I saw this kid at Annie Ann's. Like, I don't know what the joke was, so I'm trying to figure it out. But clearly, like I said,
They were playing a game, Tease the Boomer.
Yeah, and that's probably the game. And I was ready to smack this kid a little bit playfully. Fuck out of here. I wasn't mad at him. I'm just telling you the story. It was such a non-story. Like I had it in my back pocket for the last 100 days.
Yeah,
with that piece of gum. My question is, in today's world, based on this story, these kids live a TikTok world. They see these videos go viral. Today's world, if you're ever at a supermarket and someone tries to punk you in the ways we see on social media, you as a grown-ass man, how do you handle that? Because I'll tell you this. I didn't take it kindly when this kid was doing that in front of me and my daughter. I didn't. But I wasn't being a dick either. I was just like, yeah, I wasn't getting it. I'm like, is he punking me? Is this a bad joke? What's going on? It was caught real off guard. Like,
what if you're a victim of that kid that like goes around a supermarket and throws like a bucket on someone's head?
What if that happened?
Oh.
I'll tell you, I pulled one clip, and I think it's real. But there's these two idiot teenage kids, and they got like a karaoke machine outside of like a grocery store, and they're just like calling people out, like sort of heckling them as they leave the store. And one of these kids throws a water balloon at a grown dude.
I know this one.
I sent you the clip.
That's a popular.
So I'm saying basically based on my story that I've had in my pocket, as a grown adult, if you were disrespected by a bunch of little bitches, which again I feel like I handled this fine. These kids they didn't have a punchline.
Did you tell this
They
kid?
went nowhere with the story, and maybe I intimidated them a little bit.
Did you tell him you were a superhuman athlete?
Yeah, like in Practical Jokers.
Who do you think you're punking, kid? Get out of here.
Let's see this. Let's see this clip.
I'm a superhuman athlete.
How would you handle it if the prank went too far?
I see this.
Do you laugh it off because they're kids being kids, or do you put them in their place? Like, yo, man, you could play these games all day and try to go viral, but not with me. Like,
I don't
how
play
do you
this game.
handle it?
Like, but like, if it's a good natured prank, are you willing to go along with it because they're just having fun?
No.
Well, take a look at this clip, and I'll explain my feelings a little further.
I am the
get
butt.
your feedback.
I am
nobody's joke.
Of nobody's joke.
Yeah, see,
I'm
Spot
just a
don't take
butt.
kindly.
So you think?
All right, well, here's one that I saw recently. Again, these kids on the
of your
right
joke.
are just heckling customers walking out of CVS or whatever. And then they have the nerve to throw something, again, to capture the reaction, to try to go viral. Could be fake, but I think it's real.
He's just trying to get his Modelos. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
This guy's walking out of a supermarket with a case of beer. And the young kids...
Damn it, I liked it.
The young kids are pretending. The young kids are pretending to do like a news broadcast. They have like a microphone and they're pretending to do like a.
Yeah, but then they throw something.
Yeah, no, they're pretending to do like a stand up, like a video stand up.
Island boy. Oh my God. We're island boys. Just trying to make it. Island boys. No, sir, we're interviewing unicorns. Oh my God. Fuck me. He fucked me up. To make
I mean, that guy didn't hesitate one bit. He's like, yo, I'm not part of your fucking online
You can
prank.
see what a shitbag the kid with the microphone is.
Yeah, even when he gets
deserved
punched.
that punch in the face.
Even when the kid gets punched in the face. Yeah.
Some little kid mouths off. You gonna slap him though?
Fuck me. He fucked me
No,
up.
but
punched him.
I'm not.
All right, what if
also
what if you're
willing to
walking-
be punked,
all right.
especially in front of my
All
daughter.
right, what about this?
For the fun of this kid's viral
All right,
video.
what do you do then?
I wasn't.
No.
Again, I really do feel like I handled it.
That kid's begging for an ass whooping.
Oh yeah, what's up?
what do you
that's
do
funny.
then?
I'm like, is that funny? I don't know. Like, what are
Answer
you
the
doing? You
question.
taping me right now? Is this funny?
Answer the question. What do you do?
I was caught off guard.
Not if the kid was just being. This guy was just asking a silly question. Oh, have you seen my lost friend?
But he was trying to get
All
my
right, what if it was
reaction. He
this?
had all his little friends
What
around.
if you're walking out of the mall with Melody?
Mm-hmm.
Some young kid threw a water balloon at you.
Yeah, bro.
What are you gonna do?
know. That shit would not fly with me all that
What
well.
would you do? You gonna go slap a kid?
No.
You gonna slap a teenager?
Maybe trying to like stomp their phone or some shit. No, but it's not worth it. I know. That's what my
stomp their
that's how I
phone. Then all of a
feel
sudden
right now.
you're gonna have to buy them a $1,000 phone.
But in the real life scenario, how would you react?
It's an intimidation tactic. They wouldn't come after you.
Yeah, they would. My buddy, I wouldn't even call him a buddy. I had a kid that I went to high school with. And we actually joked about this kid before. All right, you know my buddy Siri? The Santa's Enchanted Mailbox. Everyone knows, yeah.
Guy's a prankster.
He's
So,
funny though.
no, but this has nothing to do with him. There was a guy that he hated in high school, so he revels in this guy failing. There was a guy I went to high school with that made the local news on Long Island because some local like kids were pranking his wife. And they were messing with his wife in the neighborhood. Like his wife like yelled at him one time. So these like neighborhood kids would like mess with his wife, and they threw like a fake snake in her car and scared her and made her think it was a real snake. And so this kid, they have him on video. He runs up to them, pushes the one kid on the ground, and slaps their phone out of their hand. He was arrested and had to like go through all this drama because he slapped the kid and slapped his phone out of his hand.
Oh.
And he was on the local news, and they called him like 40-year-old like bully. And he's like,
he assaulted him. I would argue
well, that's
that
what I'm saying, Spot.
Taking their phone is one thing, smacking them across the face is the other.
Maybe not get a clean slap, but
Yeah,
let's say
let me ask you,
Covino.
do
Let's
you
say
wanna be the
Covino
butt
got
of someone's online viral joke
No.
that we see on TikTok
No.
all the time.
Spot. If some guy pranked Covino with a fake snake, hit him with a water balloon, and then Covino went up to him and like pushed him and slapped him and like knocked his phone out, is Covino now assaulting him?
No, he's retaliating.
Well, here's what I want from this. Take a minute of your day today when you're taking a shit later or right now, and have a little bit of a exit plan or strategy if this were to ever happen. And you're probably thinking, that shit's never going to happen.
No, you never know.
These little weenies want to go viral so bad, and
Go
that's
reach
all
around
they
them.
see all day long on TikTok and social media, that it happened to me. Something was going
To
on.
me.
So it's not impossible to think that you're at the Target and someone throws a thing of paper towels over the aisle and hits you in the head and they're filming it.
And then you're like,
how are you going to react to that? Yeah, most of that shit is fake, but not all of it. You're going to pop them in the mouth. You're going to approach them, get in their face a little bit. My reaction was just a natural
There's
reaction.
nothing more demeaning to another man than smacking them across the face. Like not punching
But
them,
they're kids.
not kicking them, slapping.
Which is
them.
right. What's the best approach here?
Slapping.
No, that'll get you in jail.
You can't do that.
Not worth it.
No,
Spot,
it
what are
is.
you going to do? Oh,
Now,
where's
you
Spot?
might want to do
It's
that,
called
but you can't do
self-defense.
it.
It's called
No.
self-defense.
Self-defense from what?
From getting a snake thrown at me. This guy he was assaulted. He was physically assaulted with 2 beanbags.
No, but now is it worth it? Now he has to deal with this. He's on the news. He's going to get sued. He's in court paying for lawyers. That's not worth it. So how do you handle that? Think about that so that you could react properly. You know, luckily mine was a little more innocent. See my missing fat friend? Like, what?
What I want to know what's the deal with the kid.
Yeah,
was
I don't know the punchline.
Like I want to know the punchline.
Was he
now.
really missing? And then when I
Was it at the
because
mall
as
by
a
our place?
parent, yeah. It was
Hold
a-
on.
Oh,
Spot.
I'm gonna go
So,
cruise that
Spot,
mall.
where can I send you this video? What's the easiest place? Email to you?
Email it to me.
All right, I found the video of the kid I went to high school with. I don't know how this is even, how I found this so quick. Hold on. Spot.
I'm gonna go. And is it like a link?
I sent you a link, yeah.
Oh, then just text it.
Okay, I'll text it the
Yeah,
link to.
I thought it was an actual video. Yeah.
No, I'll text it the link to the CNR show. But yeah, this is a perfect example of a guy. He smashed the kid's phone in his neighborhood, and we could end on this. And Covino's right. Think of a game plan. If some little punk tries to,
You should have an
put
exit
you in his
strategy.
viral video.
Yeah, because it's not impossible. It was the buildup was there for me,
about to
depending
catch
on
these
how
hands.
I reacted. I think I didn't make his highlight reel. I didn't make this little weenie's highlight reel as they were filming, Boomer and Lululemons with his daughter at the mall.
This story made it to the Daily Mail.
I went to high school with this kid. It's a couple of years old, Spot, but I remember people in my hometown talking about it because he was on the local news. It went viral. He messed with the neighborhood kids because the neighborhood kids were fucking with his wife. Here, watch this.
If someone messes with my wife, then they really need to
All right,
fucking
well,
watch out.
take a look at this. What would you do?
I hope your husband is watching us.
You like harassing us? You like harassing?
Do you like taking pictures of little children? Are you a pedophile? Do you enjoy taking?
You want to? Does it look like I care? It doesn't look like this.
Do you enjoy little kids? Do you enjoy diddling children?
Take it out. That's this person's license plate. That's no one likes you. You're a low life. Hey! Ow! Hey! Ow! Stop!
Oh, good job. You. We're gonna see you now.
So these little kids were harassing this woman.
We're gonna see you now.
And the woman happened to be the guy who knew his wife. And then they're harassing her, videotaping her.
The husband comes running
He
in
comes
like a
in,
hero.
pushed the kid on the ground, and then stomps on his phone. And he was like arrested.
What a
and
little
there's
shit.
headlines that he was beating children all over the place.
what
I
a
remember
little
that
shit.
story.
What do you do in a case like that?
Something to think about,
Yeah.
honestly. And it sounds like a far stretch. But when kids see this as a way
good kid
to go
deserves it.
viral and as a way to get famous quick, you could be at a fucking Target or a supermarket and all of a sudden someone throws a bucket on you.
You know what they should have done? They should have read a poem to him.
Annalyn McCourt.
Hey kid, if I was your mother, I would have held you.
What is it you say to the kid?
All right. Well, on that note, let's call it a day.
Because that would have solved the
If it's
issue.
your birthday today, let me give you two. Who do you think's older, Gilbert Gottfried or John Turturro?
Gilbert Gottfried.
I think they're around the same age, but Gilbert Gottfried's older.
Yeah, Godfrey's 67, and John Turturro, who you mentioned just recently, how great he was in The Night Before.
He's great.
With his crusty feet.
Yeah.
65. Ali Larder, who's someone that was like in that Maxim world, right? When we were doing...
She like 43?
46.
Wow.
40.
And the guy who's synonymous with driving fast, Mario Andretti. Who do you think you are?
I was going to say Vin Diesel.
Who do you think you are, Mario Andretti? How old do you think he is?
Mario Andretti, 56.
82. 82.
Guys, 82?
82.
Still driving
That's
fast.
how old that reference is.
Holy.
Now he drives
jeez.
fast, but his left blinker's on all the
Oh,
time.
I was thinking of someone else anyway. Who's the fat guy, the Home Depot car, famous racer? I don't know. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. He's the second most famous name in NASCAR, in racing.
Jeff Gordon?
No.
Dale Earnhardt.
No.
Rest in peace.
Come on. You know who I'm thinking of.
Bubba Wallace.
Forget it, dude. No, not at all.
Oh, the shake and bake guy.
You mean Ricky Bobby?
Ricky Bobby.
Nope.
No.
I really was thinking of someone else. So I was like, oh, yeah, that guy's in his 50s. Mario Andretti's 82.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have guessed that high, though.
Right. Well, listen.
But I was thinking of someone else.
Have a good rest of your night. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then,
Did you gonna say goodbye to your dad?
Bye, Greg.
He'll be here tomorrow
Tony
morning.
Stewart, thank you.
Tony Stewart.
That's what I was thinking of for a split second.
Tony
Jesus.
Stewart. Bye, Greg.
Yeah. Well, you'll be tomorrow morning for a minute
Greg,
before you
you're
leave.
gonna be here
right?
tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow morning before you leave.
That's why I'm leaving. But can I just give a
Yeah.
Pick up the mic. Talk close.
a 30-second
Absolutely.
The highlights of my visit, of course, seeing Rich and Sarah and the kids, seeing his house in California was fabulous, and seeing you guys, Covino and Spot, and seeing the Fox Sports studio and being there last night.
Yeah, that was fun.
And one of the last highlights is I went to Steve's Covino's condo and went there, and it was really dope. It was really, really nicer than I even thought it would be. It was real nice. And the highlight was I actually made it into the sauna of rage. I sat in there. I was getting a little claustrophobic because it's but I made it into the sauna and I started venting and I said, "Let me get out of here before I go on."
Before you said something that can get you in trouble.
But it's been great. Really, really great.
Good trip.
That's great
Really
to see you. Well, I'm glad you're going to be back tomorrow too, though. So that's Rich's dad, everybody, and I mean,
And we will,
great guy, great sport too.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Later.
Bye, guys.